TikTok, time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all over the world. Thanks for kicking the table that my laptop is on.
Yeah, that's what I do. I ruin everything.
Thanks. This whole live stream's ruined already, guys. Yo, guys, we weren't able to check sound for some reason. We hooked up a mic, and we can't hear what it sounds like. So can everyone do a sound test? Make sure you can hear us. I can make it louder or something. Tell me what the sound sounds like. We have not been able to test it. Check. Check.
Sounds fine.
Oh, that sounds good, man.
Yeah,
that sounded good. Oh, okay. Yeah, he played it for us.
Sound good, except it was your voice.
All right, guys. So we're here in Boston.
Boston.
Had EPS and ETS gave an awesome presentation on the Satanic Verses. Some say the best presentation ever. I wouldn't say that, but they're right. And anyway, now we have an apologetics.
It's the best.
Now we have an apologetics conference. Last night we had the debate between Mike Licona and Bart Ehrman. Tonight Mike's debating who? Dale?
So it's like a 1 hour conversation with Dale Allison on the resurrection, and then tomorrow morning we're doing a bunch of breakout sessions, and I'm giving a keynote on archaeological evidence for the Exodus.
That is the nerdiest thing I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, guys, so hey guys, if you're anywhere near the Boston area and you haven't signed up yet, you still got time to come down to the conference. That'll be tonight. That's why we've got a few hours before we need to head out. So I figured we'd just jump on live, say hi to everyone, take some questions and so on. And but anyway, you still got time to join us in Boston. We've got tonight and then tomorrow morning, right? Yeah, tonight and tomorrow morning. So, anyone? We're gonna start taking questions. Anyone?
All right.
Hey, anyone got any questions about stuff? Hey, here we go. Where is Sam?
I saw that one.
Sam who?
Sam, I am.
Probably out of home.
I'll be Sam. Sam I am, and I don't eat green eggs and ham. Oh, let's just start. I'll just start taking comments and so on. Hi, David and everyone. Wow, why watch a lot of these guys? Yeah, we actually have more, like vocab.
Where's
Vocab's getting fish and chips up in
No.
Plymouth.
Vocab wanted to go to some pilgrim museum.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, let's go to the pilgrim museum. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. Okay. No. I'm not opposed to going to any sort of pilgrim museum for any of you who are interested in that sort of thing. I told him, look, if I'm the only thing I'm interested in, like sightseeing, would be like ancient ruins. I like that. Maybe castles or something, but yeah. No. Oh, look, here's a pilgrim hat. Ooh. Anyway.
such a loser?
Let's see. Oh, look at this. Cult leader, you see?
It's true. You will.
We got Boston. The whole gang is united. Yeah, so it's actually cool. Again, vocab, I mean, that's lame. Vocab went to check out the Pilgrim Museum. But Hatoun and Elle went out to do mosque outreach.
Huh.
That's super cool. It's Friday. They went out to do mosque outreach.
That sounds more fun than this, actually.
Yeah, and they're like, Hatoun's like, hey, you want to go? You should go. And I'm thinking, no, because you go right up into the mosque. I'm happy to talk to Muslims. I don't want to go up into their mosques unless I'm invited and unless I'm allowed to record everything that happens so that no one can say, oh, he did this and then he... Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also, apparently in Tucson, they set up a dawah table. Like Chuck says, big sign, ask a Muslim anything. So we went up with a camera. They're like, no, you can't come ask us anything. We're out here doing dawah. So I went back the next day, didn't record it, and had a great conversation with somebody there until the imam showed up and kicked me out because that's how that works. But yeah, it's just funny. They go out to do dawah, but they don't want to be on camera because, so I wonder what they're really doing.
AP and Mike Winger aren't there. This is the proof that they are in a cult. You see, David Wood sits near the middle.
Technically, I think is Anthony more in the middle?
No, they're the dual middle when you got four.
Who is that super chat there at the bottom? There's a super chat. Is that someone with my face?
It's Iron. Oh, hang on. Let me switch to super chats. But yeah, it says it's Iron-spiring.
Oh,
Iron-spiring philosophy. Hang on.
That's where we respond to rationality rules, and to show all the irony, I put an iron up to my face. Look at all the iron.
That's stupid. That's really, really, really bad. All right, let me switch to super chats here. David. Oh, hey, AP. Oh, IP. I was like, yeah, where's AP?
I was like, AP.
AP was supposed to come. I was just with him in Nashville, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'll come." And then I got up here. I'm like, "Hey, when do you get on the plane?" He's like, "I'm not coming. I just changed my mind 2 seconds ago."
Dude, welcome to working with AP. He can agree to do something, agree to go somewhere, agree to record something, and change his mind the day before.
Oh, yeah.
And just not feel like it or something like that. And I don't feel like it. Dude, what do you... Anyway. That's why when we took the trip to Israel, I said, dude, I'm never traveling with you again, ever. I don't care where it is. I don't care what it's for. I'm never traveling with you again. Cool guy, though. Just rough to make plans with. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
He killed it in his debate, though. Did great there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, when I think of like, I've never seen Javad Hashmi debate, but I just heard that he's a beast and he has all the academic credentials and that he studies all this stuff. And so I'm thinking, and I know for a fact AP is going to prepare like 2 to 3 hours before his debate.
Yeah, that's what happened. He called me up to his room and he's like, "All right, can you give me some studies?" I'm like, "Now?" Okay, sure.
How'd he do?
He did good.
That's what, and that should, the point is that should kind of tell you where the evidence lies.
Exactly.
If you've got a guy who prepares for years, is Harvard educated, has been doing tons of speaking for a long time, and AP, super lazy when it comes to debate prep. I'm not condemning for that. I'm exactly the same way. No, I am condemning. I'm condemning me and him for being super lazy when it comes to debate prep. But that he can just go in and almost off the cuff, take a couple of things and take on a Harvard academic or whatever.
What's this say about me?
You can read
Mike,
that?
blink twice if you have been kidnapped and are in immediate danger. I got you.
I have not been kidnapped, but we kidnapped Ryan Mullins. And now, with the Islamophobes, we went and got Ryan Mullins, kidnapped him, brought him. As you can see, he's in the middle, so he can't escape. He is stuck here against his will, and he will not escape until he gets on here and he hears about the men of Al-Zut at least 30 times.
Oh, I just saw it's the picture of you ironing your face.
Exactly,
I didn't notice the picture. That's funny.
Yeah, I was showing all the irony in Rationality Rules video.
Here we go. Uh-oh, the Islamophobes with high IQ are back.
No, guys, high IQ is bad. It's so much better you live a beautiful life with a good 90, 80 level IQ. Okay, Daniel Hakikachu prefers that low IQ. That's why all his arguments are low IQ.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, could you give a brief rundown of what happened there?
So DebateCon 6 happened in Nashville this weekend. I debated a Muslim named Junior. I debated Richard Carey on Does God Exist? Great debates. One is out. But the highlight of the whole thing was Andrew Wilson debating Daniel Hakikachu on which is better for humanity, Islam or Christianity. Daniel gets up there with the boring 15-minute opening statement. And he's like, yeah, we like marriage more, and we believe in God more. So if we're better. Andrew's got one argument. You guys allow cousin marriage, and it's prevalent throughout the Islamic world. That is known to cause IQ to drop. In Christian societies, less than 1% child marriage, we outlaw it because of our ecclesiology. That allows us to raise the collective IQ. This broke Daniel's brain to the point where he is on stage going, I prefer low IQ societies. A good 90, 80 level IQ. That's so much better. We Muslims, we want to take you back 200 years before technology ruined everything. Like with, polio vaccines.
While simultaneously going, AI will save Islam.
Yes, that's what it is. It was another stupid argument. He's like, AI is going to make us smarter, so we don't need to worry about IQ.
I saw a clip of that. Yeah, so it's don't worry if generations of first cousin marriage lower the IQ so much that you can't really function or do anything because AI is going to be doing your thinking for you. So just become as dumb as possible. Trust your thinking to AI, which in Daniel's perfect society will be somehow controlled by Islam. Can you imagine, like, Daniel is like given this huge plot of land and he can make his own country? He'd be like doing IQ tests, and you got to be like sub 70 IQ to be admitted, or else you're banished or
We
executed
know what
or
the
something.
dumbest thing about this
It's like going
is?
into a theme park. You got to be shorter than this line.
If your IQ is higher than this line, get out
You know what the
of
dumbest-
a Kikachu land.
The dumbest thing about this is people don't realize IQ is a floating metric. Average will always be 100. So if globally you raise the IQ, you'd still have an average 100 IQ. What Daniel is saying is he wants Muslim nations to always be below the average. So if he lowered IQ, they would always be going down in terms of Muslim IQ. That's how dumb Daniel's arguments are. He doesn't know anything about this stuff.
And that's what makes him the perfect apologist for this. He's a shining example of the society he wants to build.
Who do you guys think has the highest IQ in this room?
Ryan,
That's what I was gonna say.
done.
So I'd like to hear Ryan's opinion on the whole AI saving Islam kind of.
Yeah, Ryan.
I don't think AI is going to save anything. No, just no.
That was easy.
Done. You're finished.
Have you had your IQ tested? Have you guys?
I'm in like the 130s.
It's on the internet.
I'm like
130s?
I did it like 10 years ago.
I don't
Like 130s.
I don't mean to brag, but if my IQ were put into degrees Fahrenheit, it would melt a diamond. Everyone, will you condemn AP and D Wood for peeing while streaming?
Yes, I do.
Yes. That's disgusting.
What? I didn't. I just.
Look, sometimes you're in the middle of a 4-hour live
Oh,
stream,
yeah, but-
and you don't want to go up there and say, "But look, hey, here's a water bottle," and so they only see
Stop
you.
talking.
They only see you from here up, and so all I'm wearing is boxers anyway. So anyway,
Yes.
just pee under the
I
desk while playing a
I
video.
definitely condemn that.
I condemn
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Just go to the bathroom.
What? I've literally got a bottle right beside me.
Do you at least mute your microphone
You're
and
not.
have a wet
Oh
mouth?
yeah. No, I mute my microphone. I do that.
Just imagine Tate sitting there, your water running, you just like listen to AP.
Everyone freaked out. Everyone freaked out years ago when I said, when I'm making these videos, I'm very frequently not wearing pants, and for some reason that like bothered. Like now that when they watch me, like, is he wearing pants or not? I don't know. Anyway,
You will never know.
pants optional. Two
Okay, everybody's wearing pants here.
apologetics roadshow. Pants optional. Two folks drew line on the sand. One resurrect. We were talking about the lines.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you weren't here last night.
No, I was sleeping.
We were comparing Jesus drawing in the sand,
Ah.
the woman caught in adultery, Muhammad drawing the line in the sand for the Diddy line, right? Anyway, yeah, two different. I told someone they could easily make a video drawing line in the sand.
But we need
Jesus versus Muhammad.
We need to ask Ryan, have you heard of a Muhammad?
Yeah, now Ryan, you've given way too much. He needs to hear it.
Have you heard of men? Ryan has not heard of the men of the Al Zut.
You haven't? No, I'm not in these circles. Do I want to know what this is?
You want
No,
to
you
know.
don't.
Okay.
You will, but you won't.
I think
I mean, I have sick
You're gonna have a
curiosity.
love-hate relationship with knowing it.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can find
Once
it.
you know it, you'll realize you didn't want to know it. But
Okay.
You need to know it.
Yeah, I can read it to you if I can find it.
What are we talking? Are we talking about Al Zut?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why would we be talking about Al Zut?
He doesn't know about Al Zut.
He doesn't know about it. That's what
Should I
we're
just
saying.
break it down real quick?
I'll just read it to him. I'll pull it up and read it to him. Okay, here it is. Okay.
He's come from the
Okay,
Islamic
Ryan,
sources.
this is Ryan's. You guys are about to get Ryan Mullins, respected, famous philosopher, on his hearing Muhammad in the night of the men Al Zut. This is
He's
all
losing his
unfiltered
losing
reaction.
his Zut virginity here.
All right,
I mean,
all right,
I don't mean
ready?
in the Zut
What
sense.
is, what is this from? Is this like a hadith?
This is Hadith of Muhammad. Ready? Okay. Abdullah, this is Ibn Masud, he's a companion of Muhammad, said, "The messenger of Allah sent for me, so he sent out until I reached such and such a place, and he traced a line and told me, stay between the two edges of this, don't go outside of it. If you go outside of it, it's over for you." Then Abdullah said, and so I stayed there. Then the messenger of Allah went a stone's throw away, or a little further. Then he, Abdullah, mentioned a group of male members who looked like the Zut people. Something like that.
Zut people, they're today they're called the Jat, but it's a region of India and Pakistan where you have that, and they're basically like
There's a guy.
we've actually got one right here. He's not on camera. We got our friend here. They call him Taliban for Christ. But yeah.
But okay. So
He does street evangelism in some dangerous areas, so he doesn't want to be recognized.
So the Zut, he saw men who looked like the Zut. They didn't have any clothes on, but I didn't see their genitals, and they were tall and scrawny. Then Abdullah said, and they came and started to ride the messenger of Allah, and the prophet of Allah began to recite to them. And they started to move closer and lean around me and get in my way, and I became intensely and terrified of them, so I sat down or something like that. And when the morning light broke, they began to go away.
When these dudes came at him, he guarded himself by sitting down.
Then the
Tell me
messenger,
that detail.
Then the messenger of Allah came back exhausted or in pain, or practically in pain, for how they had ridden him. And he said, indeed, I am exhausted. Then the messenger of Allah put his head in my lap, and the men came with tall white garments on. But the messenger of Allah had fallen asleep, and I became more intensely terrified of them than I was the first time. So, Ryan, what did you learn?
This is a lot more writing than I expected.
A lot of riding.
Yeah. I think that's all I'll say.
Are you impressed by the manly veneerness of Muhammad now?
I mean, it's more masculine, I guess, than I was expecting.
It's very masculine, you
know,
see.
There's a kind of masculinity there.
There you go.
More of the masculinity.
Yeah.
So much masculinity was happening on the night of Al-Zut.
Yeah, so that's the story. Sounds weird, sounds creepy. Bunch of men riding Muhammad all night long. And I was live with Giant DOC, and they showed that basically if you're riding an animal, like mounting a horse or riding a camel or something like that, they use this word, yarkabun. If it's used with a person, it's used with sex, right? Like they would describe riding a woman and so on. And so it's like, do you think they were riding him around like a horse, or what were they doing? And he comes back in pain. And so they have this in their sources. We don't make this stuff up. We're just the messengers.
Just reading it. Muslims will say it was the night of the jinn, and riding meant crowding. And the Giant DOC go, that word does not mean crowding.
Yeah, where? Show us, yeah. Anyway, two folks drew a line in the sand. One resurrected, one got al-zudded. I prefer the first one. Also, what time do you follow? Al-Zut standard time. Yes, that's true.
By the way, if they rode him around like a horse, it doesn't make the story any better.
No, it doesn't.
I would prefer that. I have to say,
Yeah, I know.
I would prefer being ridden like a horse than being ridden in some other way by these
Some
dudes.
serious questions to be answered.
I have to say, I'm extremely disturbed that Armenians think like this. You just heard this. You heard the Armenian. You heard the Armenian. Well, there's no difference. There's no difference at all. I don't see a difference. Oh my goodness. Here we have. Where's Mike Winger?
Home.
Washing his nerd shirt for the Star Trek convention. I want to tell you that you're wrong, but first I want to prattle on about my family in Palestine. Wait, what is that? Is that what's going on?
That would happen in my debate at DebateCon.
Okay.
The Muslim I debated was just like, I have all these problems in Palestine. And I'm like, yeah, that's horrible, but that's not the debate.
That's a junior dude?
Yeah. Oh God, he did horrible. He may be the worst debate opponent I've ever had. Like
Mike said, why did I have
worst.
to-
That would be
Have you
saying
debated
something, man.
here?
I just uploaded the debate to my channel, so you can go watch it. But I've not debated him. But no, he may be the worst opponent I've ever had.
Hey, you guys want to do some debate reviews when we're all back?
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mike, did you not say, why did I prepare for this?
I did. In the middle of the debate, I said, "Why did I even prepare?"
That's
for
you
this?"
every debate, right? Like you, for that sociologist dude, you did all this preparation, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going against a PhD sociologist on his topic and his field of expertise that he's written books on. I'd better prepare, and you annihilate him. And you're like, why did I prepare? I could just walked in there and off the top of my head destroyed this. Anyway, weird times, man. AP late again. No, well, I mean, if late, you mean like not showing up at all. Mm-hmm. Shame on him. Can you please answer the Zut dilemma? I got to tell one of my close friends about it last night. Were there 29 or 30 al-Zut?
Ryan, were there 20? You're the smartest here. Were there 29 or 30?
I have no
Answer now. This is the official answer for all time. Okay, so here's how we came up with the 30. The passages don't say how many Zut men were there, right? But IP was telling me about some of his research that he had to do for his debate with Daniel Hakikachu, and he had to read all these weird because Daniel's like, oh yes, this was normal back in this time, and this was normal, and this was normal, so you can't condemn this and so on. but he would completely misrepresent his papers. IP read all the papers to expose him, not in a Zut sense, but to expose him. And then he finds out all this weird stuff. And I was talking about the Zut story, and IP goes, that reminds me of some of the stuff I read about this weird ancient practice where it was believed that men could inject their manliness and virility into a younger man by, guess
story.
what? Do the math, right?
True story.
Yeah, no, it's there. And they had this in various places. Very, very creepy practice. And so you're sitting there thinking, well, Muhammad was a caravan trader. He's got people coming from various parts of the world for trading and so on. You've got the Zut people. They'd have been in the right place of the world to know about this practice. And so what if he actually just heard, hey, did you know there's this belief that men can inject their virility into you and then you get their virility and it becomes part of you? What if Muhammad is like, hey, I'll get these guys, the people of Zut. You can check out Raymond Ibrahim's video for this. He goes through the how they were known at that time. They were known as being like extremely virile and horny all the time. And there was a saying, the penises of the men of Al Zut never go limp. They're always ready for sex, right? Why are you smiling? He's
like, it's true. Look at me.
What's funny is the comments I get from non-Muslims in India and Pakistan. They're all like, yes, this is true. This is true about us. And I'm proud of our ancestors for doing this to that man. It's pretty funny stuff. Anyway, so I had this ancient practice where you could inject your virility into someone else. And so could it be that Muhammad set it up in the desert, yet we're going to go out there, and I'm going to become the strongest, most virile man who's ever lived, as long as I can take it from these guys all night long. And I pointed out that made sense of a later saying about Muhammad that he had the sexual strength of 30 men, right? That's in the hadith. They would brag that he had the strength of 30 men. It's like, wait a minute. Like, that sounds like just a little saying to us, oh, yeah, he's as strong as 30 men when it comes to women.
29 or 30 now.
Yeah.
So is he the...
Yeah. So, but I'm thinking that might actually literally mean 30, right? He might have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? All the way up to 30. And he's like, now I have their strength. So I made a video suggesting that maybe that's why he had the strength of 30 men. He actually had the strength of 30 men injected into him. However, here's where the dilemma comes in, man.
Yes.
Here's where the dilemma comes in.
Does he count?
Here's where the dilemma comes in. Is Muhammad counting himself as one of the 30? If so, it may have been 29 men of Al-Zut plus Muhammad. And so they added the strength of 29 men to him. Or it's also possible that there were later, and kind of because we know what was happening with him and his, Dihya al-Kalbi, so he could be counting Dihya al-Kalbi. So it could have been like 28 Zut, or there could have been other guys along the way. We just don't know. But yeah, we have, you could call this the Zut dilemma. Was it 30 men there, or did something else happen? But anyway, that's math, guys. That's math.
What does this mean about Jana, where all the men have sexual strength of 100?
That's a dilemma.
Now you just made this 1,000 times worse. Okay.
Thaddeus, can you quit being gross? It's a serious live stream here. Love learning from you. This is a great team. Go Boston. Learning a lot from you, David. Much love. All of you. Thank you.
Based.
Question for John.
Beast. What? Someone has a question for John?
Yeah.
What?
It says, John McRae, why don't you do more lives?
Yeah, John.
What do you mean videos? Once a week isn't enough.
John.
That's true.
Just start doing one live a week, man. Add it to your whatever videos you make. One live a week, man.
I
One
might
live a week.
start actually doing more lives.
Hey.
Yeah, just bring us.
Yeah, my videos just take a long time, to be honest. Like a lot of just like, I always just try to make sure I have everything covered. I make sure I try to read whatever people are talking about on the topic, and then I make sure I'm studying and preparing and all that. But I'm thinking about doing some more lives because I was thinking whenever I'm doing a video, I'm always leaving out a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could do like a live stream with all the stuff that I've left out and stuff. So I'm thinking
Oh
about
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. No. And matter of fact, you could basically if you post a new video, right?
Yep.
What day do you normally post on?
Thursdays.
So if you post on Thursday, you could do a live stream like over the weekend, right?
Yeah.
And what you could do is cover, review the topic.
Yeah.
Even play the video if it's not too long.
Yeah.
Then
comments and stuff.
Yeah, add anything, add any additional thoughts to it, but then you can always like respond to any objections or something like that.
Yeah.
People in the comments, you just go through the comments, pick like five responses or 5 questions for clarification or something like that. Go through that and then take some questions, man. It's easy.
Yeah.
If the most technologically incompetent person on the planet can do live streams,
The second
Then
most
so can you.
too.
this stream has the hikmah. We got the hikmah. The hikmah. You said everyone but no Mike Winger. Yeah. Yeah.
I fail to see a contradiction.
Yeah. Mike Winger is not included in everyone. If we can't get this straight, then how can we know Islam is false? Boom, D. Wood disproven. I agree. Islam is true. IP, that debate with Junior was just embarrassing for him. Would you say that he had the worst performance of anyone you debated? If not, who was worse? You just said that.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah,
mean
this is
like
probably
Dan
the-
Barker, Lawrence Krauss are coming close in that, but I mean like he did worse than them, and that's saying a lot. Okay.
How'd the debate with Carrier go?
Oh, okay. So I could take. Let me explain.
Because Carrier's smart.
Carrier, yeah, he didn't really have an opening statement. He seems like he was just kind of. He did an interview before the debate where he's like, "I'm tired of debate." So
He like the Mike Winger of atheism.
So he was. It kind of seemed like he didn't want to be there, honestly. He was just kind of there because he was getting an honorarium. That was it. But I got to interrogate him for 20 minutes. And so the universe, David, came from nothing, not God.
True.
Nothing. But actually, no, it wasn't nothing. It was a bubble.
Yeah.
The bubble had one property. Nope,
Yep.
2. No, it may have had more. We're not sure. And then the bubble expanded into everything,
Yeah.
creating everything. And
Yeah.
but it's not God. It has causal powers. It can act on its own, but it doesn't also. And it's not God. And that's where the universe came from. That's a much better explanation than God, obviously.
Well, I'm convinced.
What was the topic?
I'm
Does
convinced.
not
Does
exist.
And Carrier wanted to debate that?
He agreed to, yeah.
That's interesting.
It was I suggested. He said, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why you have to teach your children logic.
Yes.
Just remember, did you want to believe in God or a magic bubble?
Hey,
Why do you, so wait, what's the bubble though? What,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, John. That's what I kept trying to figure out. I don't know. I still don't know what the bubble is.
Yeah, why a bubble though?
Because.
Why not?
John, stop using logic. It wasn't there. What do you want from me? I'm telling you what happened, okay?
Weird. 'Cause I don't even know what like cosmological theory that would even come from.
The bubble theory. Come on.
Yeah.
hey, some of you guys don't know because this is before your time, and before YouTube. Carrier and he was like my minor nemesis back in the day when we were just writing online. He came out with his book Good and Sense. No, that was my Sense and Goodness Without God, right? Sense and Goodness Without God. He published that book. So I did a 50-page review called Good and Senseless Without God, right? Good and Senseless Without God. And I went through it just pointing out how stupid his arguments were. He had an argument which I call the argument from blue butt monkeys, right? He goes, we don't see God, blah, 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 blah. He goes, the fact that I don't see blue monkeys flying out of my butt is proof that they don't exist. And so proof that we don't see God is proof that, and I was like, no, but he said, the fact that blue monkeys aren't flying out of my butt is proof that they don't exist. And I go, no, something not flying out of your butt does not prove that it does not exist, right? Mm-hmm. But that's the level of his argumentation. He actually had the dumbest, well, no, I would say the argument from blue butt monkeys is pretty darn stupid. That might be the worst, but worse in a way was he had a version of the problem of evil. He said, some women, if God exists, why would he make some women with breasts so large that it eventually gives them back pains, right? and I go, when I told my wife this, she goes, some guys would look at the exact same evidence and come to the opposite conclusion, right? And I put that in my review and stuff. But yeah, just a weird. So I wrote my 50-page review, and then he wrote a 100-page response to my review and stuff. And
Weird.
So, but what was weird was, I blasted him at some point for calling himself greater than Plato and Aristotle.
Did he? No, he didn't.
He called himself greater than Plato and Aristotle.
Hold on, I gotta ask the smartest guy. Is he greater than Plato and Aristotle?
No.
Okay, are you sure?
I remember some of these earlier days, and No, just
Yeah. So anyway, I wrote an article doing a side-by-side comparison of
Close?
all of the achievements of Plato and Aristotle compared with Richard Carrier, right?
Yeah, because
And I was like, Richard Carrier was in the Air Force. Aristotle invented the fields of logic and biology.
his biggest claim to fame is just the mysticism, though, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
the only thing
yeah.
he's, yeah. And that's just his only being hyper skeptical about everything. So,
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I find myself being super interested in learning about Jesus and Scripture for intense and long bursts. Then it fades away and becomes uninteresting. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, the heart is wicked and deceitful above all things, Jeremiah 17:9. That's what just happens. Work on it, Gino.
Yeah,
Discipline,
I would say,
discipline.
There's a pastoral aspect there. I think he might be overworking himself too much and he burns
Yeah.
out.
Okay, yeah, so
Pace yourself.
The ebb and flow, I would actually even argue, is just part of the lived Christian life.
Yeah.
If you spend all of your time only learning about Jesus through the scriptures or anything like that, that takes away devotional time to learning about God through natural theology, through just even life experience in the first place. How are you going to love your neighbor? How are you going to love your wife, your children, if you have that, if all you're doing is focusing on scripture? There's different patterns that this sort of devotion can take in any particular life.
There's that, and then there's the aspect of God allowing us to grow. And we go through those ebbs and flows during that time frame. I think of my kid whenever he's learning to walk. I'm there with him the entire time, even though when he starts walking, I'm not holding him anymore. So you don't have that closeness as much, but I'm still there. I'm still in that relationship with him. And if he falls, I'm there to catch him, pick him back up, and help him do it again.
do not lie. I've seen you with your kid. Hey, this is Eric exposed here, your brother in Christ exposed. I've been to your farm with all those goats and stuff. I saw one of your kids just flying at like 90 miles an hour on a big wheel. He wrecks, peels out, hits the ground. He starts crying, and I saw you. I was thinking, oh, now I get to see Eric just cradle his son and stuff. And you go, no, up. Come on, get up. And I was like, oh, I'm back in hillbilly land because that's how things were. I was. Quit your crying, get up. Come on, duct tape that wound up. Duct tape that up. Put some duct tape on that. Here's a paper towel. Sop up the blood.
Brush it off. If it's broken, we'll deal with it.
Now, what's cool is you end up with pretty tough kids like that.
Pretty base kids.
Pretty based kids. So I guess the general takeaway was don't overwhelm yourself and burn out. Better to come up with a plan for slow and steady.
They're called spiritual disciplines.
Yes.
That's the discipline of study, by the way.
Yes.
Why are Muslims affirming Allah can be called Father, bringing up John 17:3? Yeah, I think that's the main reason, because there's no Quranic basis for thinking you call Allah Father. But there are passages they want to quote in the Bible, and they'll say, you see, Jesus is talking to God here. And you go, yeah, look, he says Father. So he's talking to his Father, and he's the Son. So is that Islamic? Because that would make Jesus committing the worst possible sin in Islam. Is that something that a devout Muslim prophet should be doing? And so you have some Muslims, as far as I know, it's a small minority and just in the Dawah crew, who say, no, that all works. We can call God Father and stuff. And so I think it's like that they don't want to be, they want to use passages, but they don't want to be called out on them.
Well, I think last night in the live stream we had last night, it was brought up that it would be more proper to call him Mother, right?
Yeah.
Anthony?
Yeah, what's up with that, Anthony? So should Allah be called, if we wanted to use terms like this, should Allah be called Father or Mother?
I think he should be called, what's the name of that weird Hindu deity that's got all those strange appendages? Three arms on the wrong side.
Shiva?
Anthony just randomly attacking Hinduism.
Ryan's getting upset. He's written on that.
Shiva or Kali is
Anyways, we were talking about your son was making fun of this Hindu. Yeah, you making fun of me over here. Your son, you told the story. Your son was making fun of this Hindu god or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
What is that? Anyways, so there's just wild stuff said about Allah. I don't know that he really fits into any category very well.
No, I was telling the story of my son, and he was like 6, and we were renting the top floor of a house that was owned by Hindus. So they were on the bottom 2 floors, and we were on the top floor. And they had a picture of, what is that, Ganesh, with the elephant, Ganesh, the elephant head, and they had that on their door. And my son saw their daughter, who was like 15 or 16 or something like that, and he goes, "What's that?" And she goes, "That's our god Ganesh." And he goes, "How can that be your god when he's got an elephant head and God created elephants?" And she said, "Well, you have your god and we have our gods." And he goes, "Yeah, but my God's real." and then he went like all Mubala, and he's like, "Look, you pray to your gods, and I'll pray to my God, and we'll see what happens." like Elijah and stuff. Anyway, just to be clear, they were like super nice, so she didn't even want to argue with him, but he kept messing with her. But
Before you go
Back on the other one, the John 17:3. I think most Muslims inadvertently end up citing texts that talk about God as Father. In their minds, they think we have in common belief in the one we call the first person of the Trinity, the Father. The difference between us is we, in addition to that, believe in the Son and the Spirit. But that's not quite right. We don't think of the first person of the Trinity as simply the same across the board, only we have these 2 other persons that we don't have in common. The first person and second and third are all inseparable from one another, and our understanding of who the Father is bound up with our understanding of who the Son is. When Paul speaks of who the God of Christians is in the opening salutations, it's the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. That's definitional. He's saying this is who he is. The Son is not something you can separate from that and say you've got the same person here. So I think they just see these texts and think, because I've heard a lot of Muslims, they'll say things like, even the Lord's Prayer, it says God is in heaven, right? So when they're trying to talk about where God is, because they think he's literally confined to a chair up above the 7 heavens, above the 7 earths, and so they're thinking past the word Father, as though it's the same one, even though they're calling him Father. But then when you draw their attention to it, then suddenly they're like, "Oh yeah, that's a problem." And so some of them are biting the bullet, is what's happening. Mm-hmm. Some of them are saying, "Oh, okay, then he can be called a father." And here I've heard some Muslims pretend that words in the Quran have greater meaning, right, than any English translation can possibly capture. And of course, there's some sense in which that's true of any language. You can't just translate. They pretend it's uniquely true of the Quran, but really all language is like that, where you can't just perfectly go from one to the other without losing something. But they'll pretend that there are certain words in the Arabic language that include the notion of fatherhood within them, such as the word Rabb for father, for Lord, right? Rabb. But the problem with that is that would just make the Quran contradictory, because it's not just that Allah is not called a father in the Islamic sources. It's that the Islamic sources deny that he's a father
in any sense,
and it explicates it. So,
What were you saying, Thaddeus?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I think you're seeing Islam in action. Islam is 14 centuries of bid'ah, or innovation, and you're seeing that now. And the reason you're seeing such an upsurgence in people talking about Allah as Father is because of the Islamic dilemma. So we're going, and they're saying, well, it confirms the main ideas. And we're like, well, one of the main ideas is that God is Father. Like, that's throughout the text. Like, from Genesis to Revelation, constant images of God as Father. And like, Allah can be Father. Yeah. It confirms that. It confirms that. So I think it's the Islamic dilemma that's driving the upsurgence of it in the last several months.
Islamic dilemma is changing everything.
Yeah, guys. So one of the main responses we see from to the Islamic dilemma is, yes, it is confirming the Torah that you guys still have, and it is confirming the gospel that you still have, but not in every detail. just the general positions in there. You're like, well, God being Father is all over the place, Old Testament and New Testament. So that would definitely be part of the general. Well, therefore they have to try and accept that, or then they're going to run into problems even with the general, right? So yeah, that's what they're trying. Not going to work. Not going to let it happen. David, will you team up with Mike Winger for a 7th stream crushing Julie Royce career? No, I will team up with Julie Royce to destroy Mike Winger. I tried to explain to my mom that I get religious advice from a psychopath with ASPD. Turns out hard to explain that to an atheist.
You think?
All these Christians sitting there, what would David do? D. Wood, I just finished Vinland Saga. What anime should I watch next? You're my go-to.
You watch anime?
I've seen one anime ever. I saw One Punch Man. I think I saw like one episode of Dragon Ball Z or something like that with Nabil. But yeah, other than that,
Do you watch anime, John?
No. I've seen Death Note, and that's the only one I've ever watched.
Death Note's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever seen. Yeah.
So, sound right.
$5 to the unhandsomest apologist. YouTube doesn't like the word ugly.
That's hilarious.
That's you, Anthony.
Pay up.
Why do Muslims tend to lie defending their Quran rather than admit when it's wrong? Are they taught to lie when defending their faith?
Kia.
Well, I mean, you've got taqiyya in the Quran. That's kind of lying in special situations, like if someone's threatening you or something like that, we're gonna kill you because you're Muslim or something like that. You can lie about being a Muslim. You can lie if it was Sunnis and Shias, and Sunnis were attacking Shias. Shias could lie and say, "What? No, we're Sunnis." We did an episode of Islamicize Me Like That, where you were
And
Shia,
to your wife.
but you practiced taqiyya anyway to not get lashed by us. But you have other things, like Muhammad said in the Hadith that war is deceit, and they view this as like part of war and so on. But it just became accepted in Islam over the centuries that if the goal is good and permissible, then it can be good. It can be okay to lie to reach that goal. But yeah, I've never seen, and I've said this repeatedly. I've been to prison. I've never seen people who lie as freely, with as little concern for consequences, as Dawah guys. They will make up anything, and they just don't care. And you would think if you keep making stuff up, it's gonna, your fans aren't gonna keep following it. Wrong. It's like it's understood. They can get exposed lying 1,000 times. The fans don't care. It's like the fans accept it too. Of course he's lying. Oh, and by the way, you guys remember Ali Dawah when he's talking about the scientific miracles argument being debunked? Yep. Think about what he said, because it is very, very important for understanding their mindset. He said the scientific miracles argument has been exposed and debunked. Stop using it, because the kuffar can crush you on it right now. So stop using it, right? Mm-hmm. But he said, the scientific miracles argument is what Allah used to get him into Islam. And now he's staying in Islam, but for other reasons. But think about what he just said. Allah, he's saying the argument is it's a bunch of lies. But Allah used those lies to get him to convert to Islam. So what's that mean? It means that he believes that Allah uses people's lies to get people to Islam, and that it's good. I mean, think, if a Dawah guy tells you 1,000 lies and you end up spending eternity in paradise, has he harmed you? No, they think it's good. Hey, whatever it takes to get this guy into Islam, if we have to tell 1,000,000 lies, but we get him into Islam, it's good. So, yeah, I think that's where it comes from.
And that just seems like a difference in values, though, too, of different belief systems. Because Christians value truth because Jesus is the truth, right? And so we're not intimidated by truth in that sense. But if the value is just like winning at all costs and war and all this, kind of like a lot of the Dawah's kind of mindset, then it makes sense why they don't see truth and honesty as important.
Well, funny enough, Allah is supposed to be truth as well. The truth.
He's also the best of deceivers.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah,
He's the truth, but the best of deceivers. So
Yeah.
you can have the truth, and it's okay to lie a ton.
Exactly.
So if you begin, so Muhammad gave certain situations in which you can lie. You mentioned war. War is deceit. You could also lie to your wives to keep peace or what have you. But if war is deceit, when Muhammad described jihad, he described various kinds of jihad, war or struggle, right? So there's the jihad of the sword, but there's also the jihad of the mouth or of the pen. And so if you're engaged in a verbal war with Christians with the purpose of getting them to comply with Sharia and so forth, then it seems to follow from that, at least this is part of the reasoning, that you can lie. Even though there isn't an explicit statement you can lie about Islam that I know of to get people to believe it, but that is a inference that I see them making.
So I'm married to a Muslim. We have a 1-year-old daughter. I've tried to tell him about 65:4 and act with resistance. Any advice to offer? Also, best way to show the disconnect between gospel and satanic verses. All right, who has thoughts here?
First thing I want to say is make sure you are in a good church. Make sure you insist on saying, our daughter is going to church with me every week. Raise her as Christian as best you can. Do not let her grow up to be Muslim. Pray, fight that as much as possible. That is so harmful to women. I have so much research on this. See my debate with Junior. It'll make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. So that's the first thing I would say. I'll let anyone else want to contribute, but that's what I would say in terms of just that to start.
Yeah, so sounds like you're interested in your husband's salvation and leading him out of Islam. I would encourage you to read Greg Kokel's book, Tactics. I always recommend that. Very helpful for these kinds of situations because, you're trying to get 65:4 across to him and stuff, but you don't want to tick him so off that he's just like, I don't want to discuss this stuff anymore. So I liked Tactics because when I read it, I saw a lot of similarities with that, between that and how I ended up talking to Muslims and other people over the years. But so Tactics focuses on asking lots of questions and so on, and getting people's input. It's basically people respond better when you're asking for information or asking for their perspective or their help or something than they do if something comes across as just an attack. So, in other words, if I come to a person and I say, hey, Surah 65:4 talks about sex with prepubescent girl, what the heck is this? What's going on with your religion here, man? That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is, hey, I saw a video where this dude, David Wood, was talking about Surah 65 verse 4, and he's quoting all kinds of sources. It does sound disturbing to me, but that's him. That's David Wood. He's against Islam. Could you give me your perspective? Could you look into this?
Yeah. And
give me your perspective on this so that I'm not just getting what, a Christian guy who's attacking Islam is saying. I'd like your perspective. You can be completely, I'm interested. When I say that, I'm interested. I want to hear what they have to say about these things. But in the process of trying to respond to it, they actually have to pay attention to it. They have to figure out the situation and then formulate their response. And even if they give a response and it's not right or it's not doesn't really solve the problem, you can just let it slide for a little while. Say, hey, thank you for sharing your input with me. And then you come back a couple days later and say, hey, I was thinking about what you said. I have another question. But notice you're asking the person for information. People are more comfortable giving their views than just responding to attacks. So I'd go about it like that. Learn the Islamic dilemma really well, because you can do the exact same thing with the Islamic dilemma. Oh, you said the Bible's been corrupted? Well, what how do you interpret this verse right here, which commands Christians to judge by the gospel? How do you understand that? And no, you don't have to, you're affirming the inspiration, preservation, and authority of the Torah and the gospel and contradicting them. Therefore, Islam self-destructs. You can get to that over time, but first get the verses into your husband's head. Anyway, that'd be my advice.
And another thing too is see what counts as evidence for him, because a lot of times, like, we think whatever is persuasive to us is going to be persuasive to other people, but people believe things for intellectual reasons, emotional reasons, and social reasons too. So even if you were able to show him the problematic aspect of some verse or or anything like that, it may not move him because those might not be the reasons why he's still holding to Islam. So it's like, try to kind of think, because even in marriage and stuff like that, we think of like arguments a lot. You know, it's like we think that if we're just like give them some sort of facts, it's going to change their minds or something like that. Everybody projects that on, but I would just consider thinking about like specifically what are the reasons why you think he's holding to Islam, because if it's social reasons, then responding to a verse might not make that big of an impact. Doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about it, but it might not make that big of an impact. But try to go to some of those core kind of things to see if you can resolve those issues first.
And along those lines, personalized issues, right? If that's appropriate, I mean, obviously you know way better, right? But if it's appropriate, personalize it. So instead of saying like, how do you feel about 65-4, say, how do you feel about 65-4 if someone wants to marry our daughter, right?
Yeah.
So you personalize it. You make the social connection.
Oh, and one more thing that I bring up sometimes, but this goes back to me and Nabil early on when, I don't remember if it was that first discussion, it might have been our first discussion, but it was one of our early discussions where we basically agreed there are three possibilities here. Either I'm right and he's wrong, or he's right and I'm wrong, or we're both wrong. But if one of us is right, if he's right and I'm wrong, or if I'm right and he's wrong, we agreed that we should take it seriously as like God put us together so that the one who's right could show the one who's wrong what the truth is. So we took this as like a mission. And so that actually helps, because it's not like we're going to get into an argument and storm off and never talk to each other again. It's no, we believe we're here for a purpose. You could actually have that sort of discussion. Like, you're a Christian, he's a Muslim. Hey, look, one of us is right and one of us is wrong, or we're both wrong. But this is something we need to take seriously and not get upset or offended as we're discussing these kinds of things. Shouldn't we want to get to this? Shouldn't we want to get to the bottom of this so that we are both on the same page and we are both heading to the same place? And especially for our daughter, don't we want the best for our daughter? And if he doesn't agree to that, got a problem.
I would say something on top of what John was saying. If Islam is like a cultural identity, it really depends on, because Muslims are different from different places. If it's like, oh, if I leave Islam and become a Christian, I'm going to stop being Egyptian, let's just say.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be sensitive in helping folks understand that your ethnic identity is not necessarily tied into that. So you can be a Christian who's, again, Egyptian or Lebanese or something like that. So just be careful, because there's a lot of nominal Muslims who just think they can't be anything other than a Muslim because of their ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you get them to think about it a little more,
Yeah.
like if you're like, hey, you're Egyptian, but if you convert, you won't be Egyptian anymore, we might get a ton of converts, right?
Why get so
Hey,
quiet?
Ruslan's got a question over there.
David, hi, cult leader. We're going to get to Ruslan. What's he saying? David.
He did a super chat. You'll get it eventually.
Hi, cult leader. Thank you. If morals, here you go, IP. If morals are objective, the grounds for morals must always be good. Natural properties are not always good. Therefore, the grounds for morality cannot be reduced to nature. What do you think?
I mean, based. Yeah. I mean, you can't ground morality in nature. This is why we have the open question argument from G.E. Moore. I mean, natural properties are not going to contain moral oughts, moral values. They can correlate, but that doesn't mean that that's the grounding of them. It doesn't even make sense. Ryan, do you have anything you want to add?
This is basically the argument I ran when I taught at the University of Cambridge.
See, it's smart. He said it's smart.
See how he has to just toss that in there?
I know.
when I was teaching at Cambridge.
At Cambridge. Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, at least he didn't do what you did when you presented, David.
What?
You threw every YouTuber under the bus.
Oh, yeah. That was funny. That was funny. I was in the middle of watching AP's opening statement. Then you guys decided to go live. How dare you? Good to see you all. Well, no need to rush to watch AP's debate. We'll probably be reviewing some of that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Make lacteism a thing. I'm emailed D Wood about it. God bless.
Lacteism.
Everybody knows David.
Lacteism.
Check his email.
I'll check it out.
Whatever.
Harvard has as much plagiarism as the Quran. And that's saying something. Would you rather have Nick Fuentes or Daniel Pikachu run America?
Oh god.
Nick Fuentes. Hands down, Nick Fuentes.
And I'm saying that being black.
Yeah. yeah, hands down. No, there's no doubt.
Breaking! Christian apologists support Nick Fuentes for president. As long as the only opponent is Daniel Pikachu.
Oh, man. Oof.
Daniel.
We would be doomed if that was our
Maybe we would be
doomed.
This from Daniel Pikachu. Spread my face to the Ummah. IQ is for sheep. That is true. Where are you when are you going to Dearborn? I want to get on that trip. I'll bring the tangerines. Oh, this is a guy who hands out. It's funny. He was in New York and he comes around with a bag of tangerines, and I go, man, once your nasty tangerines, get out of here, right?
Yeah, probably.
Still, he's just giving out tangerines.
I was talking to Avery. April, May, sometime. We'll announce as we get closer. We got to figure all that out.
Yeah, it's basically when we decided we want to do something in Dearborn. It was okay. We either need to do it really quickly before winter hits because it gets really cold out there, and you don't want to plan a trip and then there's a snowstorm or something like that, or we need to wait till spring. So looks like we're waiting till spring. So sometime in spring. And not sure where exactly we'll go. Probably like set up in a park. Announce that any Muslims who want to come out for a discussion can come out, and then should be pretty cool. Giga Chadius has so much aura.
Thank you.
Chadius, that's fun. That's what you should start going with. Giga Chadius.
There you go. It's a new name.
Or call yourself Giga Thad. That'd be cool. We're giving you some awesome YouTube advice right here. Anthony, do you hold to the Mosaic Covenant as a recapitulation of the Covenant of Works?
No.
No, yeah.
Based.
In your face!
Works would, Mike, though.
I've been at the bottom of a pile of dudes. Oh, that's David Zoot. it's got a picture of me in a pride flag. David Zoot. To all the people dragging David for his past on Twitter, I wonder how many of them would condemn Paul for this. So many do not understand forgiveness. I do find the comparison to Paul like weird because that's the go-to one.
Yeah.
But it's like Paul was trying so hard to do right that he ended up doing lots of bad things, and so it's like a very different situation. But if the example is, can you be forgiven for doing horrible, messed up stuff? Paul considered himself the worst of sinners because he was going after the church, trying to destroy the church and the gospel.
Well, I keep bringing this up to David. The reason I do is because one of the ways that people are responding to this is they're saying that under the Old Testament, restitution was required as a way of remedying some sort of economic crime or something like that, or some sort of civil penalties were attached to a crime, and so we believe as Christians, if we do something wrong, we have to repair that. We have to, make amends and so forth. And so some people are saying now, decades later, after you've become a Christian, all these other things that you did prior to that are things that you now need to go and, give yourself up for. And when you look at Paul considered himself the worst of sinners, not only because he murdered, but that he killed Christ's people. To him, that was the worst that he could do. Plus, he was trying to force them to blaspheme. So when Jesus calls him, he doesn't say, Paul, you need to go turn yourself into the authorities and suffer for the crimes you committed against my people. He says, I'm going to send you to be an apostle to the Gentiles. And, of course, there's that little footnote. You're going to see how much you must suffer for my name's sake. So, it's not like he didn't get any anything coming back. But it was, I'm just saying, I don't think they're thinking through what Scripture says about all this when they say that. When I think back to, I do prison ministry. When I think back to my life prior to Christ, I think anybody who is involved in crime and stuff, that you're forgetting probably 80% of the bad stuff you did. Like, I wouldn't even know how to possibly go back and figure out all this stuff and take care of it all. And I'm not, like David, going to give a full disclosure here. But yeah, anyways, I don't think that makes sense what some people are saying.
What do you meme is probably my favorite. What the heck is wrong with you? Renee Roberts, what is wrong with you? What do you
Any
meme?
reasons given?
Based.
You're supposed to. That's when you're supposed to go. What do you meme? Anyway, what do you meme is probably my favorite. If I'm ever torn or feel anxious about a world event, and he makes a video, it makes me feel so much better.
Good.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, this horrible thing just happened. But this video is even worse, so maybe it's not so bad.
I was telling John earlier, I don't watch a lot of stuff, and these guys, knowing these guys makes it kind of easy. You know how familiarity breeds contempt, but I don't mean this in a hostile sense. If you know somebody, like David's never read Nabil's conversion story.
Why are you telling everyone this?
Because it's good. It's good for. Oh yeah. Why am I divulging?
Why are you snitching, man?
This?
My private life is private.
Why are you divulging this hideous?
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying you're familiar with something and you think I don't need to do this or that because of it. Why would you need to read Nabil's testimony, right?
What sucks is for years he's like, did you read the book yet? Did you read the book yet? Did you read the book yet? And I was like, dude, I was there. But I was also like, I also didn't want to do it because I was like, I know I'm going to read it, and he's going to make us sound nice, and I know we were not nice when we were arguing and stuff, and I'm going to be like, dude, and then I would have to expose him, right? I would have to write what really happened.
So my point with this is just that it'd be very easy for me not to watch John because. Yeah, I know John. What do I gotta watch John on YouTube for?
What could this man possibly have to say that I would be interested in?
I watch John's stuff, and then I forward it to my wife because I know she enjoys it. She's constantly telling me how much she likes his stuff. So
See?
I watch John's videos more than anybody else's videos. I'm dead serious.
You all just suck
That's
at
why-
John.
that's why you're a
because you
heretic,
got the most
huh?
subscribers now.
See,
He makes
now we
good
see
videos.
where all this hate is coming from. You guys see the hostility? You just sense it off of them.
He makes good videos.
Has anybody watched David Wood all the time? Didn't think
Yes.
so.
There's a 6-hour stream where he's
Yeah,
saying
David.
crazy stuff.
D Wood, since we have the whole crew and new cast, we the people are asking for Islamicize Me Too.
Oh, come on now.
It wouldn't be Islamicize Me Too. It would just be a total reboot.
Ryan, you in?
Oh, it doesn't go.
I feel like we gotta throw
We can have a part
values
for
in
you.
that. We gotta get
Ryan,
people
you
on.
in? I don't even know what you want.
Right.
What part would Ryan play?
Right, you heard it here, folks. Ryan is in. He is
Of
in.
Islam for 30 days.
30 days.
And see what happens.
What would Ryan play?
We'll convince him. We'll convince him. Don't worry. He'll be in.
Blessed is the
close,
man.
as you can see. Very
Ryan could
close.
be a university professor trying to convert the Muslims after.
Blessed is the man who walks not in the step of the nerds, nor stands in the way of wingalings. His delight is in the streams of D. Wood, and he watches his streams day and night. Matt, verse 39. That's it. Yeah, that's his Nico's
Matt
Bible.
39.
Borderline blasphemous.
God bless you, David, IP, and the others. Love from Israel.
You notice he mentioned us.
What?
And then
He's
the
talking
others.
about the
Yeah.
Jews.
I knew you were
The Jews.
$7,000.
That's right. I was about to say. it.
See, he's getting paid by Netanyahu.
Thank you for the shekels.
Love the shekels. IP, how do I respond to someone who says, I don't believe God because I don't think Genesis 1 is a literal historical account?
Don't ask.
Yeah, very simple. You just point out there are so many different views. What do they mean by literal historical account? A young Earth creationist, 6,000-year-old view where every day is a literal 24-hour days. I mean, that's absurd. There are so many different scholarly takes on this. There are concordance and non-concordance views. Look up things like the framework hypothesis. Look up John Walton's temple inauguration.
Have them
view.
just read Genesis 2.
Reading the Bible.
Read it, yeah. I mean, yeah, just look up my Genesis 1 to 11 series, show him that, and go like, yeah, what about this view? So you don't, there's no like church creed that requires you to believe that Genesis 1 is literal. Church fathers like Augustine, Clement of Alexandria, they took it allegorical. They thought the days were meant to just explain God's love and his orders of love. They were not meant to be literal 24-hour days. So the absurdity of thinking you have to take this literal view, that's not, Christianity has never taught that beyond the fringes.
It's also two different questions. Because one is God creating, the other one is method of creation.
Right.
And so you got to separate those. Like, you got to put one of them to the side and focus in on God actually creating? And then you can talk about the methodology and what Scripture teaches and how to interpret Scripture, which is that special revelation.
Yeah.
And so you got to apply all the hermeneutical, tools. But have the conversation on the grounds of, here are arguments that God exists and God created the world. Say the cosmological argument or something like that.
Yeah, and the reason why I said have them read Genesis 2 is because Genesis 1 and 2 have a different ordering of events. So if they're thinking that, so basically the point there is that there's something else going on than it's just a literal reading of the scripture, because it's not like the person, not like Moses or got confused. Or Moses wrote Genesis 1, right? Didn't he? I thought so. Okay, yeah. Not like Moses got confused from 1 to 2. Instead, there's something else going on, and so that's kind of the point there too. And then just the point is theological, not historical. So we tend to look at everything as if it's got to be a historical account, and sometimes that's very clear, like in like the Gospels, for example, when they're written in like Roman Greco-Bio or whatnot, like then you know that this is a historical account. But in some other places, the genre is not as clear, and Genesis 1 seems to be one of those places where it's not clear that it's a literal genre. So all that's to say is that it's open-ended and there's different interpretations of what it means, but the theological point is the point that we're supposed to take away from all Scripture.
Now we've heard from all the heretics. I just saw David Wood's video answering his accusers. I am convinced he is a psychos, sanctified genius. Psychos, sanctified genius. That sounds right. He played a villain to show that Muhammad is an even greater villain. This is warfare apologetics.
Based.
Yeah, just wait till next week, guys. Wait till next week. New stuff makes the Zut story look like a sad, pathetic joke.
Don't tell us you're going to expose yourself for more weird.
No.
Like, wait till you hear what else I did.
No, people are going to find out. Oh yeah, if people are making fun of Muhammad for the Zut, people are about to be making fun of Islam for way, way worse, and all the Dawa guys. It's going to be bad. D. Wood, I'm writing about antisocial personality disorder. Would you like to be in it? Not in a sense. No, if I have to do anything, then no, probably not.
Yeah.
But you can.
Ryan's running. He's running.
Feel free to talk about me or use anything I posted.
You guys out here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross. Wait, you guys are out?
Yeah. I gotta go finish up my
This
slides.
room's getting a little dumber, I think.
Yeah. Boom. They're running.
Just a little.
I'm hiding.
I was like, probably look like TikTok or something.
Moving towards Islam.
We'll let them head out for 3 hours. Started off with too much cargo, so we got rid of Benedict Arnold's. Hey, be quiet, man. Gonna get everyone in trouble. D-Wood. Yeah, feel free to use anything I've posted if you want it. Will we get another episode of Muhammad's Boom Boom Room? Yeah, I've been saying for a couple years. I have like 6 episodes recorded that I just haven't posted. I just got really sick of editing those. And the reason is we'll record like 2 hours of footage for like because we'll keep running lines over and over again, and it's like it ends up being a lot of editing and going through tons of footage and having to find the right clips and all this stuff. And I'll do it. I will do it eventually. But I have to kind of get into it where we're going to launch 12 or 13 episodes and have one a week and stuff like this. So let me put this differently. Someone has to annoy me a lot, and I have to think that Boom Boom Room is the right thing to do for that response. Someone will annoy me, and I'll be like, you just got 10 episodes of the Boom Boom Room.
Hey, I can think about a couple of people right now that have been annoying you.
No, he's talking about Muslims.
Oh, and even then, yeah,
Jeffrey Epstein is not a Muslim. You're the one on Jeffrey
It's tailored to a specific person. If this person is being annoying, and the appropriate response to annoy this person is a bunch of episodes of Muhammad's Boom Boom Room, that's how these things happen.
I'm just thinking about one.
It has to annoy the person who's annoying David.
Can you do something with like an ultra legalistic Christian and Muhammad sitting across each other?
Yeah, I'll just make a video about you talking to Muhammad. For the layman, how do we defend the reliability of the Bible without having to memorize 1,500 sources? History and text criticism isn't an interest of mine.
If you're not interested in it, how are you going to... You have to actually be interested in this stuff. If you're not... Then you don't have to do everything. You're part of the body of Christ. If this is not your interest or area of expertise, defer to others. We all serve different roles. You don't have to be a perfect on everything.
Mike, but I think the person who's asking the question is more talking about like individually when they're in conversation with people. Like, how do I defend the reliability?
Well, then you got to learn the stuff. I mean, you don't have to learn everything.
Yeah.
You have to learn some basic stuff about it, though. I mean, go through the My Gospel Reliability series and just take some notes down and use that. I mean,
Find a good video that you like on the topic, and if you're talking to someone and you're like, hey, let's I'm not an expert in this, I don't know a whole lot, I haven't studied it, but let's watch a video on it.
Yeah.
I would
You
say
could literally just watch the video together.
Yeah, I have a 15-part series on gospel reliability in a playlist.
No one is going
on
to
my
sit
channel.
down and watch a 15-part video series with you. So
Yeah,
pick
they
one.
do. They're called nerds.
But I will say, if somebody makes a claim that the Bible's been changed, the burden of proof is on
Yeah,
them to
that's
show
what I
you
was
that
gonna
it's been changed.
Yeah.
So you don't actually have to do much. Like, if they're like, I think the Bible's been changed, ask them where and who changed it.
Well, and of course, reliability might mean like historical reliability or other things.
Right.
But one of the things I was thinking is learning some basic principles, like
Yeah.
what really is a contradiction, for
Yeah.
example. Because some people will throw things out and say this is a contradiction when it just isn't. Another thing would be
So let me give you an example of something that people would say is a contradiction and isn't. Suppose you're watching this show and suppose you're watching this live stream and you walk out and tell someone, yeah, I was watching David Wood in this live stream, and you walk out to another person, what were you doing? Oh yeah, I was watching John McCrae in this live stream. And and then these two people would get together and he say, hey, he said he was watching David Wood in a live stream. No, he told me he was watching John McCrae in a live stream. He's contradicting himself. What a liar!
And
He's been
Candace Owens
exposed.
jumps in
Yeah.
and says something fishy's going on here.
Yeah. So notice those are easily reconcilable, and guess what? Those are totally true statements.
And there's actually a great example in the old. Well, of course, that comes up with the resurrection accounts,
Yeah.
right? But in the Old Testament, King Zedekiah was told by one prophet that he was going to be taken captive to Babylon, and another prophet told him he's not going to see the captivity. So you can imagine what Zedekiah is doing in this situation. He's thinking, well, the Lord's prophets don't know what they're talking about. I don't have to listen. Well, what happens is the Babylonians come in and they put out his eyes and take him to Babylon. So he did go to Babylon, but he didn't see it. So the word see can be used in two different ways, right? So,
Fellas, question, was Judas chosen to be the catalyst, or did God always know he'd betray Jesus? If so, what does that say about free will? Love you all.
So you take a Molinist approach.
That's right.
So it in all the possible
Wait.
futures.
Keep your mouth closed.
Yeah.
Let's start flipping
quiet.
tables here. Do you guys know where I keep my elbow right here? Like ready. Anyway,
you see how that works?
In all possible futures, Judas was always have chosen that. So God basically selects a world where it doesn't matter what world God selects. Judas is always going to choose to portray Jesus regardless of the circumstances. So he's not forcing Judas to do it. Judas is going from his free will and is doing it, and so that's the Molinist approach.
Well, I
We say we
No, but he
don't.
wouldn't
would
disagree
say,
on
I wouldn't say God forced Judas,
Yeah.
but I also wouldn't give a Molinist explanation. I would say that he is the son of perdition. He is, it's not as if none of what's said is in agreement here. I'm just saying I take a compatibilist view of freedom.
Yeah.
And no one's perfect.
So
And
I think
you can
that
be a-
Judas was acting in accordance with his own character, which also fits with what God planned and purposed. But
You
Yeah.
can be a Molinist Calvinist. They do exist.
I've never seen one.
Well, I've heard talks at ETS.
is
A Molinist Calvinist?
is there one in the room
Yeah,
right
can't
now,
even-
Arthur? Do you see him? Point to him.
I'm not, but I'm just.
Does Trim Stratton identify as such, or is
No.
it, no?
No.
I know he's a Molinist.
He's
I'm just
hardcore
saying,
Molinist.
He's
a radical
I don't really
Molinist.
know what a Calvinist
I can
Molinist
see that,
is why I'm
actually.
Yeah, so,
asking.
so because Molinism essentially, like if you bear it down to like mere Molinism, it's a method. It's a method of freedom and figuring out like God's knowledge of like future events and stuff like that.
Right.
Right. So actually, Kirk McGregor has an article that he's written on mere Molinism, and he brings some of this in. So you can't have it because you can just use it as this is God's method of knowledge, and that's all you're talking about.
But how
you're not
that-
going beyond that?
But how's that different than just
Well, because God
Molinism?
can determine a bunch of stuff within it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because of the different variations
Yeah.
in how Calvinists will see free will, right? And so it's like if some of them are saying it's your nature, then they can, that's letting you freely choose, but you can only choose according to your nature. Then I can see how that could be compatible in some sense. But
You're welcome.
And you're all wrong.
David doesn't know what he's talking about.
Is the Islamic dilemma the only argument needed? No, you want to use different arguments for different things, but that's going to be the most useful for interacting with Muslims. So if you only wanted to learn one argument, that's the go-to argument. That will be good for every discussion. If you're talking about Jesus or the Bible or anything else, once you are clearly disagreeing with Islam, the Muslim has to say your book's been corrupted, and that leads into the Islamic dilemma, and then puts him on the defensive, and then he sees his problem. So it's cool. It's simultaneously defensive and offensive, and so just super handy. But as far as stopping dawah, yes, if Christians in general learn that one argument, dawah's done by itself. You want to use other arguments because there are other things to cover and stuff like that. But as far as purposes of responding to dawah, it's enough. It's enough. Let's see. Maybe Daniel Hakikachu could have 2 women to remind him during debates. Yeah, if you don't have one man, then you can have you can have 2 women.
I told IP, since he was chopping on IQ, you take IQ out of Hakikaju and you've got Hackaju. And that basically sums up Daniel's attitude towards the Jews.
He's got IQ in his name, but not in his brain.
Yeah.
This is what the men of Al Zut looked like according to the BBC. What? I don't see that. There's no picture here.
He's making a
maybe.
joke. It's that they changed the race.
No. Oh, yeah, I get it. Change the rate. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. All right. Thanks for explaining that, guys. I'm not as quick as I have never been. David, have you seen how cruddy season 3 of One Punch Man is? No, I didn't see it. Is that the new one? Because I definitely saw the first 2. No, that would suck if it's not good. Lacteism. Patients say disbelief, absence of belief. Oh. Patients say
Lactheism? Is that supposed
Yeah,
to be
disbelief is
Lactheism.
absence of
Yeah,
belief. Oh,
it's
okay.
dumb
It's
stuff,
the atheists
man.
that
That's
say
like
the lack
internet
of
language. Read a
Yeah.
philosophy
Yeah,
journal or something.
yeah, that's dumb. And that's why if I'm talking to someone, I'll just be like, "Are you a naturalist? Do you believe the natural world is all that exists?" So let's address that. But yeah, I mean, back when I was young, it was atheists said, "Yeah, I believe that God doesn't exist." But that would in discussions that would leave some sort of burden on them to defend that their view is correct. They didn't want to do that, so they just said, "No, we lack belief, so we have no burden of proof for anything." It's like, well, you still need a coherent view of how the world got here and what morality is and so on. So what do you believe that actually explains things? But yeah, they got to the point where they didn't want to actually have to give a case for what they believe. And that's why you can say, hey, are you a naturalist? Are you this? Are you that? Who would win in a Mubahala? Daniel Hakikachu or K.I. Context?
Oh, Kingdom and
Kingdom
Context.
and
Context.
He's the guy from last night.
Don't get Anthony started. Dawa Troll's trying to start trouble. Hey, you meet any pilgrims?
This is John, everybody.
Hey.
Meet any pilgrims?
We're live, so you know.
Just so you know, we're live. There's a camera on, so if you don't want to be on camera, then
fine.
okay, he's fine.
Anybody want some crab? We want some seafood.
These guys are up crap for us.
Nobody want no nasty crab,
See you
man.
again.
That's full.
Speak for.
I ordered.
You let us. We're doing a thing. We're doing a thing.
Yeah, we're live, and you guys come in here destroying our entire show.
Hey guys, be cool to John. I gotta jump upstairs real quick and get ready. All right.
Now go do your nails.
This John.
Yeah, what about him?
This Puerto Rican John.
He said,
He
be
said be
nice.
good.
Dave.
Be nice, 'cause I'm going upstairs to get ready.
Have we ever given you a reason that we're not nice?
Don't hold vocab
We'll
up
get back to our live stream eventually,
He needs at
guys,
least
when
an
these
hour.
guys are done chatting.
to get ready. He primps and preens. It takes a long time.
You guys have beard
Okay.
oil?
Huh?
You guys have beard oil?
He does probably.
We're sitting here talking about beard oil, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, we got to talk about the most important subjects.
Anyway,
Yeah.
He
yeah.
makes apologetics AI songs.
All right. Who would win in a Mubahala? Daniel, Kikachu, RK,
Gosh.
whatever in
I can't
context.
see either one of
Well,
those guys
I mean-
winning.
Hey, who's
They're
ever
both-
low?
they're both losers.
A lot isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess everyone loses.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
That's
yeah.
what I say. You have to define winning.
We would all lose if those guys had to do something.
If Mo didn't exist, who were the men of all zooting that night?
See?
Take that, Robert Spencer. I actually
See?
used that against
Yeah.
against Robert in an
Based.
online discussion. If the men of al if Muhammad didn't exist, then who was getting banged by by the men of al Zut that night? Explain that. Explain that, mythicist.
How do we know
Zooters
Washington crossed the Delaware?
Zooters assemble, said Captain
Otherwise,
Zut.
couldn't have gone to the other side.
It's Zut Chieftain. I heard cousin marriage is based.
Based on low IQ.
You heard that from Daniel Hakika too. When you were debating Ben Lover, was ChatGPT accurate in
Beck
saying that
Lover.
It says Ben Lover
Well,
right
I'm just
here.
saying. You know who he's referring to, yeah.
Was ChatGPT accurate in saying that Jews were treated better under Muslims than Christians?
No, it's much more complicated. It's not like an either or kind of thing. There were instances where Jews were treated horribly by Christians, and vice versa. Overall, though, if you're taking all of the 1400-year history, where you can compare Christianity and Islam, Jews have been treated worse. That's why they're all in Christian countries now. Now, I'm not saying this is like a black and white issue. It is not. Don't ever say that it was.
Always comes back to race with him.
Yeah, so it's not a...
Like,
Anyway, that threw me off. But yeah, if you just look at like why are all the Jews fleeing those countries? I mean, yeah, there were times they were treated well, but I mean, like that's also if you go back to the early Islamic history, a lot of that is because for the first, as Robert Hoyland points out, for the first like 300 to 400 years of Islam's history, the majority of the people in Islamic lands were Christian and Jew and Zoroastrian. Then slowly the elites were Muslim, and then they slowly took over. And then as that progressed, as more of the population became Muslim, what happened? The Jews started fleeing because there were more Muslims there. So the more Muslims it increased, the worse it got. And where did they go? Christian lands. So you got to take all that into context.
The nutty professor Granny to Muhammad, you're walking over, but you're limping back. Boom, boom, room, please. I haven't seen that, but I think I could get the idea from this comic. But that might be
the Nutty Professor.
No, that
Nutty-
might. Wasn't I locked up when that came out?
Grandma.
Yeah, the grandma.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a line.
I
I
don't
can
remember
I
that
can
line
kind of
either.
get the idea. I might clip that and add that to some videos. What's the average IQ of everyone in the room? Well, fortunately for all these guys, if I'm in the room, the average IQ
Goes way down.
skyrockets. So just by me being in the room, the average IQ is probably somewhere in the ballpark of 487.
Pretty high.
John McCrae, I guess that's for you. John McCrae, I'm free grace and wanted to ask if you think Christians who have always believed works are necessary for salvation are saved. God bless you all.
That's a good question. It depends on. Well, I think all.
You have to work at changing your view to get them to line up, and then so.
I think all Christians, for the most part, will adhere to saying that they believe Ephesians 2:8-9. We're saved by grace through faith, not of yourself, so no one can boast. So I think if they believe that you're actually saved by grace, then they are saved. Yeah, I outside of that, I don't really know. I'd have to have more details. But yeah, you just can't save yourself. So if you're looking to save yourself in any capacity, I don't think that you can save yourself, because it's either you're going to have the righteousness of Christ imputed onto you, and then that's what you're standing before God and you're going to be judged in accordance with, or you're going to be judged. It's just like Romans 1, 2, and 3 when Paul's arguing the different ways. It's like you can be judged by your own standards, but you have to meet them perfectly. You can be judged by the law, but you have to meet the law perfectly. Or you can be judged, or you can just take the sacrifice of Christ, as in Romans 4 at the beginning, by faith. And then if you look at verse 11:6 as well too, is where Paul lays out just how grace is completely separate from works, how they're mutually exclusive. But yeah, then it's like you can be judged by Christ, his righteousness, his perfect righteousness. So if you accept Christ, for your salvation, then you accept his righteousness and not your own.
Can you read that again?
Yeah, it just
I'm
says,
free grace and wanted to ask if you think Christians who have always believed works are necessary for salvation are saved.
Yeah.
That would contradict the view itself. like free grace view.
Well, but the way free grace is being used here is like all Christians who believe you're saved through faith in Christ would think of that as we're saved freely and by grace. But free grace has come to distinguish within that those who would say, you don't have to, at least, and John's probably better to speak to this because I don't know all the nuance, but they would say there doesn't need to be anything after that.
No.
Or how would you put it?
So it's just basically the free grace position is that, so if you look, the way they kind of break it down sometimes is like the Calvinist view is going to be like the way that you're saved, the way that you know you're saved is by looking to your works as fruit in your life. The Arminian view is that you can lose your salvation, but the free grace view is that your works don't prove or secure your foundation. So that's basically it. So it's like you're saved purely by grace, and it's not of your works. They don't prove your salvation, and they don't earn your salvation or keep your salvation. It's Christ's righteousness that holds your salvation.
Which is why I'm saying it'd be contradictory to the free grace position.
Well,
to say people who have this other belief aren't like saved.
There's the question is just are they saved if they believe in some sort of work salvation?
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if
not
free
saying
grace
that
is
two views are
true,
the same.
then
No,
they
he
just have a
doesn't
wrong
think
belief.
that's true. Yeah, he
But
just
he's not asking about his own belief. He's saying,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is my view, but what do
Yeah.
you think about this other view?
yeah. He's just saying if somebody's always believed in works, are they saved? That's
Yeah, they're
that's
just wrong about a theological view. Like that could be that. You can be wrong about theology and be saved.
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Ryan Tail IP Monarchic Trinity loses to social. Oh, too bad Ryan's no longer here.
He ran.
He ran. He saw that coming. He saw that coming. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm not getting
I
into
can't
this.
deal with that.
The room reeks of Islamophobes, and we're proud of that. That's true. Can Than take his shirt off? He would have, but he left.
He ran.
He saw that coming. He's like, nope. Everyone's going to see
No
my.
wonder they both
Everyone's going to see my.
I'm kind of
Weird
concerned what's
comments.
behind all these comments.
Yeah,
Yeah, people are going to
Obviously
tell me to
some
take
backstory.
my. Than said, people are going to tell me to take my shirt off and see my weak, pale, pasty, flabby appendages, and I'm out of here.
Projection.
Take it off, Than. IP needs better opponents. Base. Will y'all visit Wisconsin for my birthday in 2026?
Hold on.
no. John McCrae, why don't you do more lives? We need more. What do you mean videos? Once a week isn't enough.
Yeah, we had that one earlier.
Yep. I pray Sam is watching right now and taking notes on how to conduct oneself in a group of people. This is true fellowship. I love all you guys. Well, let me tell you about your Shia mother. It could have been 1,000 men, but all 970 of them already gave their power to someone else, so he only got 30. That's true. There's just so many possibilities when it comes to the men of Al-Zut. D-Wood, are the boys going to inject their... What the heck is wrong with you, man? Sicko weirdo.
Okay.
This is a Christian stream, people.
Muslim apologetics be like, 29 ain't that bad. That's true. What do you mean? How is Just the Bible channel doing? I like the channel and the word being spoken.
It's doing well. I haven't looked recently at where all the numbers and stuff are at, but I mean, it's just been doing well, and it's been picking up a lot on Spotify, which is good. So it's doing well. Yeah, thanks for checking in.
Hey, Al-Zut are the charging station for Momo. I'm going to steal that. They're the charging station. No, you'd say, I mean, once he sort of got the tank filled up, he just needed to top off the tank. And that's why he had D-Hell Kalbi. So D-Hell Kalbi is the charging station. And guys, I mean, we're describing this in weird ways, but that's what the passages actually sound like. And Muslims sort of want us to be charitable, but they're not charitable when they go to the Bible. So that's kind of the lesson. If you guys are like lying about the Bible and stuff, don't tell us to go with the most charitable interpretation of passages that sound really, really weird and messed up.
Hey, David, Mike Winger is in the chat.
No way.
He says, I have a question. Why does David Wood constantly try to copy my look?
That's pretty good question, Mike. Could you please answer that? It's a very important question. We've been wondering that for a while.
Yeah. You see, I mean, think about this. We're having deep discussions about all these awesome theological topics, trying to share our insights with the world to make the world a better place. What's Mike Winger do? Tries to make it all about him, tries to make this whole discussion all about him, and to completely derail everything. That's what he does. And somehow there are a few losers who watch him.
You didn't answer the question.
running.
Why you
He avoided the question.
He did avoid the question.
Hazakim here. Even though you left us hanging on that epic rap battle, love you. What do you mean left you hanging? Waiting the entire time. You went off somewhere, man. Ready to do a rap battle right now. Set it up.
Has anyone seen Mike Winger and David Wood in the same room at the same time?
Why are Muslims not permitted to own dogs? I'm assuming because the dog would be more intelligent than their owner. No, it's. I mean, actually, according to the Muslim sources, it's Muhammad had a meeting set up with. This is weird. Muhammad had a meeting set up with the angel Gabriel, which is code word for his buddy Dihya al-Kalbi, right? Who, when people would see him with Dihya al-Kalbi, when they see Dihya al-Kalbi sneaking out the window and someone sees him, he's like, oh no, that's the angel Gabriel. He just looks exactly like Dihya al-Kalbi. This is what I say. It's like, we could be charitable, but it just looks really bad. But
Night rendezvous.
yeah. But one day Muhammad was supposed to meet with the angel Gabriel, and the angel Gabriel didn't show up. And then he had to figure out what was it that made the angel Gabriel not show up. And then he had searched his house and he found a puppy hiding under something. And so, and then he issued the order, kill all dogs. Didn't want anyone. Here's what's interesting. Dihya al-Kalbi means the dog. So he was called Dihya the dog, and it's like was some weird connection there with him being called Dihya the dog and not liking dogs or something like that. Anyway, so Muhammad issued an order to kill all dogs. Didn't want anything interfering with his nights with Dihya al-Kalbi anymore. Later on, his companions complained, hey, wait a minute, we have hunting dogs and stuff like that. So you are allowed to own a dog. It's like a hunting dog or a guard dog, just not like a dog that's a pet, like a companion in your house and so on. And that goes back to Muhammad's weird happenings. What happens if West Virginia seeks to charge you for the grape? Well, that would have been Virginia. Yeah, guys, let me break this down. The only way I could ever be prosecuted for that is if those girls, who are women now and might be grandmothers, decide to come forward at some point and go into police station and say, I want charges filed against this guy for what happened 30 years ago. Apart from that, even if I wanted to go to prison, I couldn't. There's no way to do it. Right?
Yeah.
How do I find some girl from 30 years ago that I met at a party and I might vaguely remember her first name and have no clue where she is? Or any clue how to find her? I could give them all the information, like how do you find these people? And why would you think that the girls want to like have to go to, be investigated and go on trial and stuff like this and testify? I don't know. So anyway, I don't know how it would even work. People saying, David, turn yourself in. They would laugh me out of the police station. I mean, they file a report or something like that, but there's no way they're going to do anything or dedicate police resources to try and get to the bottom of this, not in the zoot sense, but so nothing there. I will tell you, if those girls at some point came forward and said, hey, mad about what this guy did 30 years ago and I've been bothered about it ever since, I plead guilty. I did it. So that's it. But that's where we're at. Yeah. So if you're saying this should happen, that's the only way it could happen. So you might want to start doing if you really want D Wood to go to prison over this, you gotta find the girls.
And none of us would stand in the way of the authorities. Be like, all right.
I wouldn't. I plead guilty. I'd say, hey, it was 30 years ago, but whatever you think,
Then David Wood would start his prison ministry. And
I would. I'd crush it.
Will visit.
Guys, if I didn't have a family, I prefer prison. If I didn't have a family, if I didn't have a wife and kids, I actually prefer prison. It's awesome. You
reading time.
Yeah, you get up, you read until you're sick of reading.
Prayer
Then you go lift weights. Then you come back and read some more. Then you play spades or chess or hearts or something with someone for a while. Then you go out on the ball field. Then you go to Bible study, and it's just.
And imagine how well the story of the men of Al Zut would go over in prison.
They would try to reenact it.
Oh gosh.
No. Actually, what would be great is for somebody that could expose Islam within that context and point out Muhammad's inclination for young girls.
Yeah.
That wouldn't go over well in prison.
Fan just left. They got an Uber driver. They said they had a Muslim Uber driver, and they were they were doing that. They were asking about the Quran. Hey, why does the Quran say this? They were running the Islamic dilemma. They told him to watch the videos.
What?
That's how we do it.
That's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it.
Yep. He's in there. He's like, hey, you're a Muslim. Cool. I had questions about the Quran. And he asked him about Surah 568. Why does it say to Christians to observe the Torah, the gospel, and what has been revealed to you from your Lord? And then the guy, they just ask questions the whole time. That's what you do. And it gets them to think. You start planting seeds. That's all you got to do. Ask questions.
Planting seeds, not in the Zut sense, though.
Yeah.
But you start asking the question, planting the seeds, not in the Zut sense. Give them a couple verses, tell them a video to watch, and then you give that dude an awesome tip, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome tip. Don't be cheap. Has anyone done a welfare check? Oh, this is Ruslan. Has anyone done a welfare check on the Muslim scholar Daniel Kikachu? Not been a good time for Daniel Kikachu. That's what's amazing. I can toss them a softball. Hey, dude, want to come after me? Want to declare World War III on me? Here you go. And he'll still melt down and screw it up.
He's working on getting his IQ lower, guys. He's really trying hard to get it down to a good 90, 80. He's probably already there, but he's just making sure, okay?
Lower's the better.
Per Daniel Pikachu, the combined IQ 30 Al-Zutz and Momo would be significantly lower than IQ power of one Christian brother here. Yeah, according to Daniel, that's...
And that's a good thing, according to Daniel.
You guys are my heroes, especially Anthony. Anthony?
Herbie.
Hey, Rod.
Good to see you, Herbie.
Right.
I have to, you could kind of understand it in a sense. Like, if I had some stupid looking beard like that,
I was gonna say,
and like I don't know if I
Double
can go
or-
on. The fact that you show your face in public shows how brave you are. So yeah, you're a kind of hero. in
Well,
that
no,
sense.
I agree. I look in the mirror and I think, man, that dude's ugly. The only way I'm going to come off looking halfway handsome is if I'm next to David Wood.
Now, guys, do people see?
You are finished.
Do people see how I deal with unprovoked personal attacks? I don't even respond. I just move on. I keep doing what I'm supposed to do.
David Wood, you are finished.
You're not going to call anyone?
Yeah, first off, the
she a
beard
whore mother?
Nah, that guy's a troll.
Fire.
That guy's a troll.
Yeah, I don't know what David's saying.
That guy's a troll. He's debunked himself.
Please, more effort to rebuke Emin Hillmantro. No, never heard of him and
Total
don't want
troll.
to.
Loser.
Thank you.
Wild, crazy nonsense.
From Heretic Hero. Have y'all seen the film Four Lions?
No.
Nope.
Someone told me to watch that, and I didn't.
Whatever.
People told, yeah, matter of fact, multiple people told me to watch it. I've never done that.
Someone probably sent
I
you
did not
money
call
as
it.
a super chat and said, use this money to go watch the movie.
Someone probably did do that.
Coming
Is
up.
one of these people behind David Julie Royce? No.
It's coming from
That'd be me.
one of the baldest men on the planet, Braxton Hunter. He's as bald as ugly Armenians are.
Whoa.
Hey, we should have Julie Royce in the Boom Boom Room.
Yeah.
You know, I suggested that like an hour ago.
Yeah, he
You just
did.
got
He
it.
did. Except
It
he was
just
subtle.
arrived.
Except he was
That's
subtle.
a good idea.
He said a hyper legalistic Christian.
Yeah, and he
instead
just-
of saying her by name.
Thank you, AP, for being so open and shaming the devil, all to the glory of God. One thing I really pray for is that very soon, you, Sam, IP, AP, God Logic, and everyone else on streams together. Thank you for everything. God bless. Well, that's not logically impossible, but what you're saying requires some massive changes, and we do not control the massive changes that would be required for your dreams to come true. Still genuinely waiting on a Now or Never album, John. Love you guys. Thanks for all that you do.
That's funny. That was my old music.
Ah,
in the
I
day.
heard your old music. It was like stabbing me in the ears with a
Whatever.
pitchfork.
That was some of the stuff I was doing. That's funny. I don't know how they heard about
Plus,
that.
it was
must be
you
somebody I
and
know.
it was you and your twin brother, so it was like double repulsive. And what?
The hate. The hate.
Yeah, you can't use my responses.
It must be somebody I know, but appreciate that. I always try to keep that kind of.
Loki.
It was so long ago too. I was like, I don't talk about it much. But
Hey, we got Mosh Cohen straight from Israel, coming out with the shekels from Netanyahu. Me during Marvel Phase 4. Nah, I'm done with this. No more Avengers for me. Also, me seeing this live stream thumbnail. Avengers, assemble! Nice. Anthony did not refute the argument of the deity eating all the sacrifices. Please elaborate.
Laughter emoji.
Yeah, guys, you can go on Hatoon's channel to watch that. Anthony spent about an hour
Laughing.
of our lives cracking up, laughing, and responding to the claims of what was the guy's name?
Kingdom
Kingdom
in
in
context.
context.
Sean.
Ay, Dios mío.
In all seriousness, that was some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. To laugh so hard for so long. Man, that was some epic stuff.
Al-Zut.
I got the rest of the stuff out that I couldn't say in my opening statement.
There you go. Al-Zut. If we take turns on you, you'll have the strength of 30 men. Muhammad, you wouldn't be pranking me now, would you? Al-Zut. No. Nice. What's your opinion about Johnny Chang's take on not needing to pray the Lord's Prayer?
Well, that's nonsense.
Johnny Chang says a lot of random stuff that he just invents.
Yeah, ignore that. Get your theology from real theologians and not people like Johnny Chang.
So here's my beef with that. I've made videos about John, like his intention and stuff. I'm not going into his intention and all that stuff, but there is a proper way to study the Bible. And
then there's what Johnny Chang does.
And so the mistakes he makes is he'll read the text and then see some kind of a comparison or an idea he has, and he thinks that's the way you should actually look at the text. And then he shares it with everyone, and it's a wrong way. They're incorrect corrections that like nobody in the history of the church has ever made. So just because something is clever in your mind, or you think you see some kind of a correlation or correspondence and stuff, doesn't mean it's actually there.
What is his claim about the Lord's Prayer?
Yeah, I don't know. It's nonsense.
He's saying his claim is that we don't need to pray.
Is it based on an assumption of dispensation or something like that?
I would absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's wrong either way. I'm just saying, I know that there are people who will say that certain things are part of the old covenant,
Yeah.
and therefore irrelevant to us, and so there's debate among them over where that cutoff is.
Yeah.
Is it at the birth of Christ, the baptism of Christ, the crucifixion, the resurrection, Pentecost? And so for some of them, they're going to say everything before Acts 2 is part of the past and so forth. But in any case, there's nothing about any of that negates the relevance of the Lord's Prayer.
How long does it take to get over there from here?
What?
How long does it take?
Half hour.
All right, we should probably leave in like a half hour.
Leaving like half hour to go to the church?
Yeah.
Don't it start at 6?
The doors open at 5.
5? Okay.
No, it's
Oh yeah. We'll have to cut out. Yeah. So let's try and get through as many of these as we can. But yeah, we'll.
Yeah.
A room full of Giga Chads. You're partly right. Wait, where's our favorite bulimic kingdom in context? Does anyone else think an Ali Dawa impression contest would be fantastic right now? Oh, I'd win that one.
Yeah, David wins that easy.
We're proud of that.
Espresso for everyone, AP and Logic, and this would be the Avengers assembled. Yeah, can you imagine if AP and God Logic were here right now? That would be, and Hatsu, this would be everyone.
Only if Mike Winger was
This would be the entire crew.
Only if Mike Winger
We
was
need
here.
Jai apologetics too.
Quran 1993 teaches that no one. Oh yeah, that entire passage. So read the verses before that. That's where like the entire universe is ready to fall apart when someone says that God has a son. Teaches that no one can come to Allah except as a slave. That excludes any sense of son, physically, metaphorically, or whatever. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, of course. He came in to clip it so he can have something to talk about. On the show.
I just hope he plays.
We're trying to go through super chats, guys.
substantial portions.
I'm going to sleep. Big love and God bless. Thank you. All you guys are killing it. Even Crowder is talking about the Al-Zut. Wait, Crowder's talking about the Al-Zut? Whoa! Hey, someone. Whoa! Yeah, guys.
Whoa, let's look. I'm gonna look it up.
Guys, yeah. Send the link or just tell us what it is. I probably won't see it in the chat because we got to take off in a little bit. But if I don't see it, send it afterwards. Just state what the video is. I can find the video.
Yeah, it's not on his Twitter, so it's got to be in a video.
And a timestamp. And yeah, we would gladly check that out.
That'd be awesome. Cool.
Hey, Mosh Cohen again. D Wood, you got to brush up on the Muslim Brotherhood foundations. Taqiyya is one of the tools utilized to infest the West. It's not just Shia practice anymore. No, Taqiyya is in their sources. And so, as far as what you actually read in the Quran, you can practice Taqiyya. Again, if you're in danger somehow, someone's going to persecute you, you're from the wrong sect, as the Shias used it. But also, According to the Quran, it's Surah 3, verse 28. You can read Ibn Kathir's commentary. He breaks down what Muhammad's companions said about how they use this. And you use it to conceal your true intentions. You have hostility, you're trying to subjugate people. You can pretend to be friendly. You can pretend to be peaceful in order to deceive them because that's what's in the best interest of the Ummah. But yep, Surah 3, verse 28, everyone, and look up Ibn Kathir's commentary on that.
Just a real quick comment. In Islam, there are like 10 different terms for lying. So
Yeah,
when they say
you
we're
have
not
all sorts
doing
of other
taqiyya-
different kinds of lying
When
for
they say we're not
different
doing taqiyya, they're often technically telling the truth because taqiyya only means lying about religious beliefs. They have other words for other types of lying.
A religion, they gotta make up words for different types of
Yeah,
lying.
yeah, you got like 10 different kinds of lying.
Was Momo really unlettered or just made up story? You kind of can't tell because you have conflicting reports, but they're in later sources, and so it's kind of a.
There's also another possibility, illiterate early on, and I mean, would the guy remain dumb? I don't
Question.
Yeah.
Thaddeus and John from the Crackhead Clown Reporter. Thaddeus and John, I haven't forgotten your Quran size far 4 bookmarks. Thaddeus is 90% done. John's maybe after Christmas. Much love to all you guys. Yes, I have one of those. That's cool.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
And also, IP, have you developed your philosophy of mind framework, or is the Irreducible Mind playlist still your general framework you abide by?
Yeah, that's still my general framework. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've nuanced it a little bit, but yeah, it's still basically that.
Can we pray more for Dearborn, Michigan, more than just say it is gone? See that a lot in comments.
Absolutely, we should pray.
Should be
for it.
praying.
Yeah.
And we should be going there and confronting it.
Just a general comment. Muslims being in Western countries, regardless of what you think about that politically, it's an opportunity to evangelize.
It is an opportunity to evangelize, so look on the bright side.
God is bringing them to you so you can proclaim the gospel to them.
Hey IP, I was wondering how you go about doing research for topics. It seems like search engines tend to be biased and bury research. Thank you.
Yeah, use Google Scholar. That's a good place to go to. JSTOR, JSTOR is a good place. When I read books, I make highlights, and I'll go through. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So when I read Davis Brown's book on War and Religion in a Secular Age, where he's talking about how Islam has a permissive war ethic, I looked up a lot of his sources, and I'm like, ooh, even more data here. So when you read stuff, look up the sources. Go to that kind of stuff. You can also, if you find a paper online, many of the sites will say, they'll have like a side link say, cited by. And then you get other papers that have cited that paper that were published later. So do that kind of stuff. There's no one way to research. You just got to have a keen eye, and you have to experience. It'll help you do more of it. But check sources, check authors, check bibliographies, this kind of stuff. You'll find plenty of good stuff.
Hi, did you hear, if true, that the Korean Scottish bacon guy has been arrested on anti-Islam terrorist charges? Please pray for him. I did not hear that.
I think he's out right now, but I think he's got court dates and suspected terrorism, yeah. Yeah.
Like what? He actually did something, or it's just one of those weird things?
One of
like
those weird
where they like they arrest you for posting something.
Yeah, but that's what they got.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
complete and total
I heard
nonsense.
about that. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll check that out. Let's see. What's the beard rating scale? Worst to best. Mine is the best.
David's is not the best.
Well, it depends on what
Yeah.
you mean.
No.
If this is like the standard, then it's obviously the best.
It's not. Look at Adam's beard.
If this is the
Look
standard,
at
did you
John's
know?
beard. Look at my beard.
Oh, hey, look at this. Please watch the Al Zut song by Nabi Asli. Lol. Yeah, we watched that last night after the live stream. We were absolutely dying. We're all kind of agreed that we cannot play that. We cannot play that. We have no idea how it's still on YouTube. But guys, you definitely want to check it out.
I don't know if I want to watch this.
You definitely want to check it out. Download it. Check it out while you can. He made an entire video like enacting the night of Al Zut. And what is it? Animated video of the
Nope.
night of Al Zut.
Nope.
Animated video of the Al Zut dancing around Muhammad.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely R-rated.
They tried to show it to
Your
me
discussion is
earlier,
advised.
and I said, no, I'm not watching this. It was so gross. No.
You
I didn't
made
wa-
it about half.
Yeah, and then I was like, no more.
Yep, and then quit.
I quit.
On a positive note, I had a really in-depth philosophical conversation with my agnostic friend, and he no longer finds physicalism as valid.
Come on now.
That's how you
That's
do
a
it.
step there.
That's how you
Based.
do it. That's how you do it.
You're getting there.
The Super Smash Bros. Roster of Christian apologists. Yep.
No. Pikachu's not here. What are you talking about?
What is everyone's favorite Christian book? I'm assuming you can't just say Bible.
Yeah.
Love the Lord your God.
The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis.
Anyone else?
Love the
Weight
Lord
of
your
Glory by C.S. Lewis.
These guys, Lewis.
That's
Reasonable Faith, William Lane Craig.
Maybe. Man, I don't know. Reason for God, maybe Tim Keller.
yeah, it's weird how we had 3 from C.S. Lewis because mine is Till We Have Faces from C.S. Lewis. That's one of his fiction books, but I have zero clue how no one has made this into a movie. It would be like it'd be shorter than Lord of the Rings, but it would be, if they did it well, it would be as good as like one of the Lord of the Rings films. How to deal with manipulative church leaders who say and believe the right things but use position for control and power. Difficult to prove wrongdoing. Yeah. I would suggest reading a book on manipulation tactics, learning them well so you can spot when someone is using them, and yeah, you kind of have to figure out where to go from there. Any advice for wanting to start making Christian content? I want to do something like a mix of John McCrae and Ruslan talking about topics in the culture. You mean taking like, I don't know if you mean like
Cultural commentary.
Yeah.
No, he means like the idea, like the way John does it and
Culture,
the way Ruslan
Oh,
does
okay.
it.
Oh, something like
cultural
that. Yeah.
Just do
okay,
that.
you're kind of in between. Yeah, do it.
I would
Yeah.
say
yeah.
know your Bible well, man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, you better know your Bible.
You always just keep learning. Start and make sure you're always learning a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and at some point you have to get, you just have to get started, and don't be worried about having everything perfectly or learning everything. It's you get started and try to be consistent with it and so on. And it may take a while. And it's called the pain period, right? Where you're putting a lot of work in, and people, you're not getting the views because there's tons of people making content, and it just takes time. Hello to Apologetics Zut Show. Thank you. I should start up another channel, Apologetics Zut Show. What do y'all look for when discerning whether someone is asking for evidence of God versus protecting a deeper need for control? Much love, y'all.
All right, see you guys later.
All right.
Alrighty.
So I guess the question is like the sincerity of someone's questions and so on. You usually pick up on that when you're talking to someone if they're serious. If they ask you a question and you start responding and they see that you know what you're talking about, they switch topics and they're looking for something to stump you on, you're probably not dealing with a sincere person who's really interested in the conversation and so on. If they're listening and interacting with what you're saying, then probably keep that going.
Yeah. And if they are saying that something's an issue and then you respond to it and then they move on to something else, then that thing probably wasn't the issue. Kind of along the lines of what he's saying.
Hello from United Real Estate of Iran. Mr. Apologetic Arthur is my #1 handsome YouTuber. Allah bless you. You posted that yourself.
I did not. That's
you. That's
read
your
the
burner
name
account.
Slowly.
Pisabi upon him. Oh, peace be upon him. I get it. It took a while.
Is that an
It's peace be
Italian
upon him
Muslim?
with an Italian. God bless you all abundantly, exceedingly, beyond measure. Thank you. Any on-camera setup and position and all for starting YouTube content, all to his glory. Any idea? That's stuff. That's some of the stuff that there's no need to reinvent the wheel or to even ask us. You can find tons of YouTube videos on this. But just know that you can make better videos like on your iPhone now than I could when I was getting started with a camcorder and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can get easier like cheap mics now than what I was using back then. So yeah, it's basically figure out your budget and watch some videos and stuff on how other people basically on that budget. What things they would recommend. But yeah, there's plenty on all the basics. There's tons of videos on this. So and matter of fact, that's a good approach. Start watching 1 or 2 of those videos a day, right? Look up one of the channels, like the YouTube creator channels, and just start watching a couple, and you'll pick up on things. Take notes on what you like and what you want to incorporate. Hey, here we have AP. People have been shamelessly exposing wood for a week. No shame. That's true. In Islamicize Me Reboot, can the guy getting beat up and robbed be Mike Winger? Yeah, that would be funny. That would be funny. It's just randomly Mike Winger. It's not like I want to I hope there's a situation where I can get to meet Chuck Norris or something and ask if he wants to be in it. Because it would be funny if we decide that we have to persecute a Christian and we go up and Muhammad said, do not give the people of the book the greeting first. Force them to the narrowest part of the road. And he'd be like, we try to do that, and he turns around and it's Chuck Norris, and even though he's old, he like kicks our heads off or something like that. Anyway, I would tell him, no, just go ahead and roundhouse me in the head, hard as you can. I can take it. It will be hilarious. That would be like some funny stuff. What kind of honor would it be? It's like if I ever meet Mike Tyson, I'm gonna want to mess with him just so I can have a Mike Tyson punch me in the face story forever. Wouldn't it be worth it to get punched in the face by Mike Tyson just so you can know you've been punched in the face by Mike Tyson?
It'd be worth it to me to see that.
Let's make it happen.
I'd like to see David get punched in the face by Mike Tyson.
That's the point. Everyone would want to see that, and I would like to. I would. That's hilarious.
I've been thinking this for ages.
Dude, you've seen the video, right? When he goes, Lennox Lewis, I meet your kids. Praise Allah.
Yeah.
Punch David in the face.
Eminem got punched in the face by Tyson.
He did.
Yeah. The video, Godzilla.
Are you all of the opinion that Islam will surpass Christianity over the next 30 years? No. Do you think Islam spreading through certain Christian countries can be a punishment? Yes. Like Israel was punished when they disobeyed. There's an interesting parallel. I mean, you look at the Old Testament and say, you turn away from God. Guess what? All these nations here, they're going to come in and wreak havoc on you. And here we are, and you got Christian nations turning away from God, and those same nations are coming and wreaking havoc. Isn't that interesting? But no, Islam surpassing Christianity,
not going to happen.
No. It's
and the numbers they're counting right now are not even reliable because they'll go on like the official numbers of Muslim countries, which is BS. Like they'll say 99% of our population is Muslim. Well, they're going to say that because they don't want to die for being apostates. Like this is such a biased metric.
They're also just counting kids per family.
Yeah. Right.
And they're counting. It's estimated that 8% of Muslims in Muslim countries are actually closet atheists who can't say it.
Like people like atheists like Harris Sultan, Pakistan still registers him as a Muslim.
Yeah.
He can only get that revoked if he goes to Pakistan to a court to get it removed. He's not doing that because they'll execute him. So they just keep claiming he's a Muslim, as we say, without Islam. What is it? Without lies, Islam dies. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, so guys, as the apostasy rate goes up in Muslim countries, you're going to eventually get to a threshold where there will be law changes and so on, and then it's okay, then it's acceptable to be an ex-Muslim, and then all of a sudden they're going to find out how many ex-Muslims are really dealing with.
Okay, do you guys know the amount of, the percentage of people that grow up in Muslim households that apostatize?
Like 26%, I thought.
Okay,
26.
That's insane, right? Like, so if you want to take that and calculate it into Islam's growth, like what's their growth and what's the amount of people leaving? Plus the quote-unquote reverts, and like in 5 years they leave, or within 5 years they leave.
Yeah.
So the numbers are skewed in many ways.
All right, guys, got to be as quick as possible because we're going to have to take off in about 5 minutes.
I'm going to use the bathroom.
Yeah, go ahead. Amazing that you fit so much knowledge, so much wisdom, insight, and intellect into that room. So many gains, and that's just Than. Bark, bark. Weird stuff. I'm at the gym. Everyone flex for me. Well, I haven't been to the gym in a long time, but that's about the best I can do.
See how mine's bigger?
Christians just need to refer to what Jesus said to Peter when he asked Christ about forgiveness. God bless you, brothers, for standing by David. No, David must be destroyed. He must step down. Who's the handsome Greek guy in the back? Bark, bark, love you all, but like not. But like in the Zoot sense. This one says in the Zoot sense.
Than's
gone. Yeah, Than's gone. Finally. What's the most psychotic thing you guys saw David do? Ever do anything?
Oh, wow.
He's been fine.
Yeah, I'm a super nice dude.
Nice to everyone.
It's a problem for those that have that narrative that I'm over here trying to think of something. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, now you can't even think. Now all the people who know me best can't even think of anything except pure niceness from me.
David's ridiculously nice to people, by the way.
Yeah, that's how I am.
When he was
bunch of losers. I'm nice to all these losers all the time.
I know he has a hard time being around people.
Here's something psychotic. I actually. So remember this? I told David this. He's like, I don't remember saying
be awkward about
but
it.
It sounds like me. No, years ago, I had declining health because I was in seminary. I was working full time, several jobs, while going to school full time. My youngest daughter came down with a protracted illness. We couldn't cook in our house. She responded adversely to all foods and smells. So I was eating fast food, sleeping 2-3 hours a night, working, going to school, and chugging down these vitamin waters that I thought were good for you, but getting all this sugar.
Yeah.
So after a year, I started feeling bad, and I'm like, what the heck? Like I'm almost never sick. And so my wife got me to go to the doctor, and I went, and all my levels were crazy bad. Like the doctor said, I don't know how you're even alive. And I was scheduled to meet, in fact, John and David in Vocab, I think in Arizona. I don't remember what year that was. But I go there, and I said, look at this. And I showed David, and David said, you'll be dead in a few years. And then he says, what do you want to eat? That's psychotic David. And we love him for it.
Yeah, so I specifically said we're trying to be as quick as possible, and then we get a 15-minute story about me telling Anthony the truth about himself.
But I corrected it all, and here I am.
He said for you to shut up.
Many years later.
We're very happy you're here.
Many years later.
A thing that is described as the same requires its comparison to hold an identical definition without exception. Therefore, Muslims and Christians cannot be described as worshiping the same God and can, at best, only hold to attempting to honor the same God. Thoughts?
That was a 10-minute question.
Yeah,
Basic logic.
We don't worship the same God, period.
Yeah, I agree, but you know, you still have to be careful of that, because it's like if we're Christians and you say, well, I have this belief about God and it's a little different from my belief about God. You don't want to always just jump to we're talking about different gods. So there seems to be like, some threshold of how different you're talking about. Now, I would say that Allah is sufficiently different enough.
Essential.
Yeah.
It's how you define it. I mean, if you're an Arab who uses the title Allah for God, you're an Arabic Christian who says Allah for God, and you mean what we mean as Christians, then fine.
To the topic about creation, what about the semen from between the backbone and ribs? That's a good, powerful point. Are there King James Version apologists?
Yeah,
yes, there are.
Yeah,
there are.
They're not that good.
No, they're awful.
They're horrible.
Would you guys recommend reading the Bible full through and then reading early church commentary? I'm conflicted. Also, wish you all well. God bless. I don't know if you're just starting or something like that. If you're just starting, I would suggest like reading one of the synoptic gospels, then going to John, then going to Acts, then going to Romans, then going back through all the gospels, then going through the whole New Testament, and then going Old Testament once you've learned the New Testament really well.
New for
I still wouldn't recommend you just jump into commentaries. People need to learn how to study the Bible before they consult commentaries.
Wow, I didn't know David had an Amish cousin. I guess he was talking about Eric.
No, he's talking about
Eric. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, Eric looks Amish.
With his hat.
Oh, okay.
A wave of film and TV shows based on the Bible released in the last 10 years because Muslims cannot portray Muhammad. Would you say that a lack of soft-powered helps with the fall of Islam? They do make movies about Muhammad occasionally, but they don't show him, or they show his face
really
glowing.
Weird one like 30 years ago. It's like a Disney film of Muhammad. It's like the creepiest thing ever.
Have you mistaken fear for humility, and in doing so, backed away from a role God may be calling you to? If so, what was the most valuable lesson for you? Any thoughts on that? That seems like something you might need to think about.
I
can't respond to all the
Fear for humility?
Yeah, not doing something because you're afraid, but you think of it as humility.
Oh. I haven't done it, but I know people will.
Yeah, we'd have to think about that. Exposing wood in front of others is a crime.
Or privilege.
Any thoughts on love being God's only necessary attribute? Why or why not?
No.
Yeah, that would be weird.
The reason why is this. I notice a lot of people have a tendency to isolate one of God's attributes, and when you isolate that and you treat it as just the big attribute, a lot of theologies and stuff do this too. And even if you have like Greg Boyd's hermeneutic, like the love hermeneutic and stuff, it can lead to some absurdities too. So like, I mean, I've seen it in a lot of things, even I want to say, and sometimes in Calvinism, elevating God's sovereignty to just like the highest, thing, it can lead to some absurdities. In my
So
opinion,
since
sometimes.
John took that shot, I don't know who he thinks he's reading, but it's been Calvinists who have actually addressed this error.
No,
principally.
everything's about Calvin.
Yeah.
So-
We worship Calvin.
I said
Calvin.
Calvinists, not
No
Calvin.
Christianity,
those are,
no Calvin.
Those are two different things. But if you want to try and talk about, making some attribute of God his supreme attribute, then it would be biblically his holiness. You don't have God
that's
saying
true.
love, 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 but holy, holy, holy. And that's said as a Calvinist, the only one in the room. So, I don't know where the idea of sovereignty gets
No, I'm
put up there
saying
as his
self-Calvinist
chief
too, by the way.
attribute. But besides that, sovereignty, the attribute in question would be his omnipotence, right? And so sovereignty is simply something of how we talk about how that looks like, what that looks like in action. So I wouldn't really use that as a name for an
It
attribute.
can become problematic in many ways.
Yeah.
Just to boil it down to love.
You guys-
Many, many.
Yeah.
You guys not pay attention to the fact that we're trying to be quick?
Yeah,
Is Catholicism
Anthony.
a heresy? How wrong is it?
No.
Anthony would say it's super
Yes.
wrong. IP would say everything
Yes.
is totally fine, but we don't actually have time to go into it. We can. I've suggested we could get people from different positions
Well,
to
no,
represent. Well,
yes.
Oh my goodness! Greetings from something. Mike the Muhaymin.
That's me.
Knows me. I work on New Testament, Old Testament textual history, and advanced Christology. I'd love to talk with you one day.
Talking to you, David. He wants to talk with you.
Yeah, no problem.
Kira, he's in Turkey.
Hi, David and Anthony. Why is the most detestable name in the sight of Allah in the end times the one calling himself the King of Kings? Yeah, that's for Muslims to explain why they have a title that Jesus applies. Wir brauchen euch hier in Deutschland und bringt Ridwan mit. AP was just there not too long ago, so. Who is your favorite Old Testament prophet and why?
Elijah.
Yeah, that would.
Jeremiah.
It's a coin flip between Elijah and Micaiah. Micaiah is the one who.
Oh, yeah.
I love that dude. I love that dude.
I'd say Isaiah,
Isaiah.
Yeah. No,
who's
Micaiah.
also the
Micaiah is
favorite of the New Testament authors.
That's right.
That's true.
My Isaiah professor said that Isaiah is the canon within the canon.
Micaiah
66
is,
books
And it has like every
divided
redemption.
39. I know that.
general confirmation counter to the Islamic dilemma. Yeah, well, watch our videos on the Islamic dilemma for that. Also had some Dawa guy tell me that they don't go by number age and she was mature. Aisha, well, she's prepubescent, so they have
And
to
with
defend
dolls.
prepubescent as mature. And good luck with that.
I think
But
the issue that comes up here is don't look at the age as much, but like what's described about her, like the stuff she's doing.
yeah, she's playing with dolls and swinging on a swing. Episode 6 of One Punch Man Season 3 is at 1.6 out of 10 on IMDb, or the lowest rated anime episode of all time. Oh my goodness, they had the coolest show and they screwed it up. I'm gonna have to change my little what is it, profile pic or whatever it's
Yeah.
called. No comment there, but thank you. Let's see. What's the tafsir on the spirit of 1 Kings 22, 21
Oh, that's
to
the lying
23?
spirit, yeah. So
It's
Augustine
Micaiah.
said it was a demon. That's why it's on the left and the right, and it talks. Revelation talks about the devil accusing us day and night. So the demons are there accusing us along with Satan, and this lying spirit comes. It permits, but then God, even out of His goodness, still even warns King Ahab about it.
Nice to see all these well-informed men. Got a good group right here. May God bless you all. Also, David, you're the Slim Shady of apologetics. The real Slim Shady. Thaddeus needs a haircut so bad I'm super chatting to remind him. You heard it here, Thaddeus, and everyone agrees.
Yeah, he looks homeless.
Chop that, whatever it is on your head off. Or just take off the whole head. David, did I misunderstand Daniel, or was his position really Islam works best with cousin-loving, slow-minded people? Or am I
Yes.
missing something? I haven't heard it. I mean, I haven't seen it
Yes.
yet. I saw a couple
That
clips.
That is not what it. No, his position was basically that's not the highest value is not IQ. You can preserve other values by not having a high IQ because a high IQ leads to atheism.
But he said, "I prefer low IQ."
Yeah, I know, but
because
that's one interpretation. Just to still man his view. That's what he's
But
saying.
yeah, guys, we will. Other people have already reviewed it. It is going to be reviewed again once I'm back. Got to see that. We'll probably be
John is the
reviewing a bunch of the
nicest
debates
guy
here.
here.
Hey guys, I'm thinking of making Arabic-speaking Christian music for apologetics and outreach. Do you guys have any ideas on structuring such songs, like singing about the Christian God's grace?
You shouldn't
I
ask
don't
white
think we
people
do.
about music.
Yeah,
Yeah, you might want to check out some people who actually do.
yeah.
it.
Ask the people who've been doing that. We're not musicians here.
Against
High
the Egyptians
IQ.
and Lebanese folks.
High IQ isn't Christ-like because it's Islamophobic. Shout out to Apostate of Allah there. This looks like the Christian, the real world. Oh, I remember that show. Y'all should fight an apologetics battle royale to the death. Thunderdome rules.
I think David will win.
My
that.
money on the Undertaker.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You see, when David Wood goes live on his channel, the Wi-Fi works fine. Yeah, we were having Wi-Fi problems last night, but not today. This group instills fear like the El Zut on Momo. No, not if it was like,
Not in the Zut sense.
yeah, not if it was willing. AT Ministries, I'm late. Is this the Jai Face reveal stream, or is this the David Wood and Winger reconciliation stream? It is neither, but you will be getting the Jai reveal stream soon if everything goes well.
David is not interested in reconciliation.
That's right.
I don't know about what you guys are saying, but I was a part of a private meeting with David Wood and Mike Winger where they hugged and stuff.
Quit making stuff up, man. That's like evil.
I saw I've been
Total
telling
video
Tia.
evidence.
People
Mike
say
Winger-
I'm evil, and he's saying stuff like this. Are there any apologetics conferences in Europe you guys might attend in the
Yeah,
future?
Fander and London around June. Yeah.
Put them on, invite us.
Will you work with James White on Islam? No, he really hates our approach. So
Yeah.
I don't know what guys. If people have like radically different approaches, and someone's like, I can't stand that approach, I have no idea what people are like. Hey, why don't you work together? Because we do different things, and we don't always like each other's approach. It's a big world. It's a big world. There's different people can do their own thing. Hi friends, tips on how to bring husband to Christ. Kind of check out the advice I mentioned earlier because we don't know the situation.
No, there's a scripture on that. 1 Peter 3 talks about it.
1 Peter 3, read that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would still recommend Greg Kokel's Tactics.
Yep.
And depending on the situation, maybe his more recent book, Street Smarts. But very good stuff. It should be foundational for Christians to learn that. Aren't cats unclean too? So why Muslims love cats? No, dogs are dogs.
personal.
Yeah, dogs are called out to be executed, and then there were exceptions. My brother holds to Zen Buddhism, Alan Watts, Eastern thought and meditation. Any resources to help in conversations with him? I've read Tactics. Thank you. Well, there you go.
I mean, I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug Gruteis has some good books on that.
Doug Gruteis. You heard it here. You heard it from vocab.
Christian Apologetics, his book, should be in everybody's library.
His name is spelt weird.
Yeah, it is. It looks like Gruthuis. Looks like
I've
Gruthuis.
actually, I've done a podcast with him. I interviewed him on his book, the second edition of Christian Apologetics. It's the most comprehensive apologetics book I've ever read.
We should get going soon.
Did you see that someone animated the Night of El Zut?
Yes.
It's on the Navi. Yes, we talked about that already. We have Christian Gadfly. D Wood, I'd prefer prison. D Wood, I'd prefer prison. What my client means to say. Christian Gadfly is a lawyer. He's a lawyer. What my client really means to say is the state needs to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
No, I want to go.
The D Wood cult should open a prison-like monastery. That's actually
That's a good idea.
actually why it's good. It's not. It's like yeah. So that's why it's good. It does have features of like a monastery. But yeah, we should open a
Just
monastery.
some people shouldn't be at the monastery.
Yeah.
They're messing it up.
Not a question. Just wanted to say the state of Virginia should thank God that 18-year-old David Wood was completely delusional. Yeah, that actually helped him out. Hello, there's these two individuals stating Muhammad didn't exist, Al-Fadi and Dr. J. I don't think that's actually Al-Fadi's position, but
Yeah.
while he's interviewing someone, he will sort of, go along with that person's position. D-Wood, IP, etc. Please, can you create a PDF of how to approve Muslims to preach? How to approve Muslims to preach? Yeah, not sure what
I
that
mean,
means.
like how to train them?
We don't want to.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
David, like 5 minutes, by the way.
On the free grace question, mention was Armenian Calvinism and free grace
Not
views.
Armenian.
Can you recommend some reliable books for study on the subject of assurance of salvation? You have 5
I'd
seconds.
say,
Yeah, Joel Beakey on assurance.
Hey, can you
Good
guys
stuff.
stop mispronouncing Armenian and calling it Armenian?
Armenian.
Two different things.
Armenian. Yeah.
Armenian.
Armenian is a decent
Theological.
position, is a respected position. Armenian is a completely
It's the greatest
unrespected.
people group on the planet.
For some books on that,
One's
you can
bad,
check out
one's stupid.
Charlie Bing, I think, wrote a book on it. Bob Wilkin and one other person I can't remember right now. But yeah.
Joel Beakey, Assurance.
The article, Sam threatened to expose Wood. There's an article in it.
That guy can't write.
Al Zut are the superchargers. Diha trickle 120 volt. Nice. You should see nefarious. Even demons can be base. Subversion cannot refute reality.
My friends keep telling me to watch that. Anybody seen it?
No.
I haven't.
Congrats, D Wood. Your wiki article is protected now, is it? That's awesome. I don't think I've ever read it. Eating pork, child marriage, or cousin marriage, which is worse? Just asking for a friend. Child marriage, followed by cousin marriage, followed by eating pork, which is fine. But it's interesting if you if you went with Islam, the eating pork is the only problem there at all, and the others are totally fine. I think it's safe to say that the collective intelligence in this room outweigh the collective intelligence of the entire ummah. That's possible. Thanks for the correction. Always glad to learn. Oh, that's Mosh. I didn't have D Wood's confession and repentance proving Momo was a pedo, rapist, and the Dawa boys agreeing on my bingo card, but here we are. Well done, D Wood. I had it on my bingo card.
Ending 2025 strong.
Yep, ending 2025 strong. There's going to be a good end to a good year. Trust me on this one. If I want to study Christian philosophy, where's the best place to start? You mean with a book? What do you guys say?
My channel.
IP's channel.
There.
Yeah.
And then believe the opposite.
Check out the book, Philosophical Foundations for a Christian
Yeah.
Worldview.
Christian
No,
philosophy.
do not start
My
that.
recommendation.
Look, there's a book that's not as well known for some reason. Gary Deweese and J.P. Morgan wrote it. It's called Philosophy Done Slightly Less Difficult. I would start there.
Copan wrote a book too called A Little Book for New
Who wrote it?
Philosophers or something
Paul
like that.
Copan.
Paul Copan.
Yeah, and he wrote another
Copan.
one that's thicker.
Hey, we're
that's
not
called,
doing a entire
Loving
library.
Wisdom. That's good.
What a fantastic panel, guys. Thanks. Question, do you think Andrew Tate heard about the old Zut practice before he signed up? Possibly might be why he
That
rehearsed.
might be why he signed up.
So many great minds here. So glad to see y'all. Any advice for going back to church after a long time off, and what to do if temptations cause physical pain? I keep falling into sinful habits even after calling Lord's name.
That's a longer one on.
Accountability might help. I've talked about that recently.
Yeah.
Find someone that you know, someone that you trust, someone who's not going to try to use your information to blackmail you later. Find someone you trust and talk about them, or to a small group about that. It just really helps. I find ecumenism is critical today, but I often see Protestants, Eastern Orthodox, and Catholics treating it like it's a great error and damning people. Am I wrong here? Anthony would definitely say that.
Well, you should actually check it out where the attacks are coming from more.
Yeah,
I
well,
would say.
the gospel's a dividing line, so it comes down to a question of whether these are substantially different gospels or not.
The words anti-Islam terrorist charges, did they fire up Kern again? Shout out to Arthur, aka Mr. Apologetic Armenian King.
Stop sending in super chats, bro.
He gave himself that title. When you going to expose Mike Winger for stealing your food? Lord bless. Yeah, I posted a video about that so people would realize. I mean, this guy will just
takes
steal
you
anything.
out.
Pure evil. By the way, mission update. QR codes. Oh, this is Mosh. He takes a video. He takes our videos and he goes around and puts them in areas with Muslims.
funny.
With Muslims.
That's cool.
Yeah. But mission update. QR codes placed in Gush Etzion next month. The QR mission moves all the way up. My unit is rotating to the Syrian side of Mount Hermon. He leaves the QR codes to our videos there. It's awesome. David, are you racist? And why are you racist? That article lady interviewing you. Yeah, it should be awesome. Thanks for the work. You're welcome. I didn't like either, but I feel as though atheism is worse than Islam. It is just more novel and doesn't have several centuries for its ugliness to manifest. What do you all think? It depends what you mean.
Yeah.
It depends what you mean. They can be worse in worse ways. That was a super sticker. No comments, but thank you. If the religion of Islam were true, who of you would be in more trouble before Allah?
Well, clearly David.
David, absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah, there's no apostates in the room, so.
Not that you know of.
Though Allah would approve of all of David's pre-Christian actions.
Who? Hey, here's an interesting one.
Islam? Aren't we all born Muslims?
Well,
Hey,
Whoa,
Yeah.
hey, shut up.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Who do each of you think is the best debater there? I think that is a close call between Anthony and IP.
Right. Stop being nice.
I think I would be really good. I think it would have to be specific topics where I would think that I might be better on a specific topic. But just debate skill and ability and so on. It's
He's
that's a
being
close call.
nice because Anthony's right next to him. Doesn't want to get hit. He knows I'm better. So
Finally, a prophet I can get behind.
That could go on a shirt, by the way.
When are you guys going to play Mario Party? Not familiar with that.
that'd be fun.
Which one of
I
you
would-
will
that would
play?
smoke everybody
Which
Mario
one of you
Party.
will play Zipman for Boom Boom Room? Yeah, we got to get that. We got to get that done.
John,
Hey, Anthony, could you please explain? Not now. Could you please explain why the Eastern Orthodox and Roman Catholic churches are perfect in their theology and John Calvin is a heretic? Trying to cause trouble. Hey, guys, hey, we're almost through. We're almost through. I need the shirt. Donkey pull cart.
we do. We need that shirt. Yes.
Donkey pull cart. IP, do you have any vids on the teaching of Scientology?
No.
And finally, as I read the Bible in front to back again to connect Old Testament with New Testament, am I correct to see Exodus to wilderness to promised land as a typology of the Christian life, baptism, sanctification, and final rest?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, we actually made it through the super chats right at 4:30, which was our deadline. So awesome.
Right at 4:30.
Right on
Yeah,
time.
right on time. Awesome. So we have to take off. Like we have to actually bolt really quick. But those of you who are going to be at the conference, at the Apologetics Conference, we'll see you there. Those of you who aren't going to be there, we'll catch you. We'll catch you when we all get back. Got a lot of stuff coming out. Going to be a fun time. Going to be a really, really fun week coming up. So we will catch you all next time. Be sure to follow all these guys' channels.
God bless.
My best.